Okay. No, these actually that I did recently came out great. It's PLA like the soundproof barrier things they put next to highways, and they're all
Oh,
like crumbled and stuff. So
okay, okay.
I printed a set of those. I did this cool post-apocalyptic fence setup, um, which this one came out kind of stringy. I need to clean it up significantly, but I'm gonna work on that tonight. And then just some wrecked bullet hole Jersey barriers, which
Oh, yay.
um,
I was waiting for the Jersey barriers. I was getting hyped for
yeah,
those.
yeah. So it came out all pretty well. It's just that there's a lot of cleanup I got to do, and for some of the smaller stuff, like I printed these pallets of like little barrels, and I don't know if you can even see them, but like little
Yeah,
barrels and boxes and
absolutely.
stuff. And these came out a little rough. So that's when I started thinking like, if I had resin, I'm sure that I could do the smaller scale, more intricate prints a lot. Uh, I don't want to say more easily because obviously they both bless you.
Oh,
They
pardon
both
me.
require no, you're fine. They both require significant amounts of cleanup. It's just that I think that the effort I'm putting in to clean them up at the end, I might get better results with the resin resolution. I just want to know because like I don't
Yeah.
mind cleaning up all the stringy bits or whatever. I've got plastic snips for that, and I can clean it all up pretty easily. It's just a matter of is this going to be is this something I can just sort of do lazy when I'm, sitting at my desk talking to people versus like a more dedicated cleaning setup. So I need to
Yeah.
do more research into that. I just love to talk
I
to somebody who's done it.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I all the same, like I feel like it's gotta be straightforward, really. That's my
That's
take on it.
that's what I'm thinking.
I feel like it just can't be that tough.
Yeah,
Um,
and the thing is like I probably won't be doing N scale stuff again because I've got the little trains or whatever, and I think I'm done with the layout for now, just because I don't know where I'm going to be living in the future, and it's such a massive investment of both time and space, and it's very difficult to move. So as soon as you are like, oh, I need to
mhm.
move to another house, you lose a decent amount of the work you put into the layout you have. So I'm
Yeah,
probably
that's
going to
valid.
chill on that. But the 1/64th scale stuff is still pretty intricate, and I'm working, and all of my dioramas I've done so far are 12 by 12. So I literally am working with 1 square foot.
Right, right.
Um, and trying to get as much detail as I can into that 1 square foot is like kind of the fun part because it gives me one thing to fixate on,
Hmm.
which is make this square foot look amazing, and I don't get as distracted as I do with like a whole layout. But anyway, I just I can't see the
You
monitor right
can't?
now.
Oh,
No,
that's just
it's
because
all
it went to
blacked
a
out.
screensaver.
Okay, I just
Thank
want to make sure you knew.
you.
Yep, there we go. Okay.
Anyway.
Whenever you're ready, I'm good. Before we start, I would like to share a link because I had a couple of people asking. So
Hmm.
can you send me that and I will forward that to
Oh,
my
link, my
Twitter?
link, the link to
Yes,
the ding
yes.
dang. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Um, and then let me go ahead and share it myself. There we go. I love that I could just I love the enthusiastic, like, hey everyone, we're gonna read a magazine. Like
Well,
I we're going to read and react to. I did fix it. I fixed it. It's fixed over here. You might have to refresh. It probably won't do it live. But I'm here, I'm looking at it, it says PT3.
okay. I'm all set now. Oh, when we have people filtering in, so that's cool.
Mhm. Yep. Um
And let's
yeah, I'm
see. Hello,
very
everybody.
curious, honestly. And yes, hi everyone. Thanks for joining. Hi Cameron. Hi Alexandre. Hi Mathis, etc. Everybody here. Um, yeah, we decided that because there were a number of people in the UK and EU in general. I guess actually the UK is technically completely out of the EU at this point, right? Despite it being ludicrous.
I think
So
mostly, yeah.
we had a number of people who were in other time zones who said it was difficult for them to show up at the times we were doing them, which were just convenient for us. But I mean, this is convenient too. So we wanted to give this a
Yeah.
shot and see what the viewership was like, especially because during the week we're doing it after work, and we're both getting tired already, and we're both wanting to go knock back a couple of beers, or like 8 beers, or like 12 beers. Um,
I
So
can't knock back 12 beers. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I am
I
too
used to be
light
able to
for
knock
that.
back 2 beers. I used to have these wild birthday parties. This ended when I became a grown up, by which I mean about 29 or thereabouts, like 29, 30. I used to every time I had a birthday party, I would get a keg, and I would end up just 9 sheets to the wind, and they were a wild, wild time. It was so much fun. Everyone had a great time, and then the
Well, I
world
mean,
started changing.
I'm 25, but I take estrogen, so they cancel each other out. I used to be able to
Rough.
drink more than I could, but I can now. But I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point.
I have
Um,
learned that recently.
oh boy, oh boy, good times, good times.
Yeah.
Don't you love bodies? Aren't they
I
just the best?
I hate mine a lot less now. I think that's the best way I can put it.
That's a fair point.
I have had many issues with mine, and now it is more acceptable.
Much like any car you've owned.
Yes, I just had to
Tony,
do I
Tony,
just had to
tell
do
me.
some tweaks and modifications.
Yeah, Tony, tell me. Have you ever owned a car that was great?
No, just straight up no. I was
My
talking to one of my friends about this last night because she's looking at she was looking at different cars for sale, and and one of the things that came up was like that I've never spent more than $3,000 on a car, and just let me tell you, in that price range, you're
Hey
not
Sam.
buying the cream of the crop. You are buying
Correct.
you are buying whatever is sort by cheapest on Craigslist that probably still runs, and in some cases it doesn't at all.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, it ran when parked though.
I have done that with
My
regrets, but I've done it.
Hey Sam, glad to have you here. Yeah, I did this for you. Yeah, I drove a succession of terrible cars. One of my favorites for quite some time was a Subaru Legacy wagon, like a '91 Legacy wagon.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing about that car is that when I got it, the seat belt had been cut about 3/4 of the way through in one place, and I don't know why. The person selling to me was just like shrug.
Those are really difficult to cut too, which is
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't
impressive.
easy, so it was not a mistake, right? Someone did this
Yeah,
on purpose.
yeah.
But yeah, I had no explanation for it. But I just drove around like that for a couple years. Good thing I didn't get in any accidents because
Yeah, I'll say, because that would kill you.
All
No, I
right.
have had.
Oh,
I'm trying. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say
no, go
one
ahead.
last thing. I haven't had a car that factory came equipped with an airbag in 4 years now.
My last car acquisition was the only car I've ever purchased from a dealer, and it was a 2003 Ford Explorer, and it was in basically perfect condition when I got it. Um, but like obviously it has pardon me, it has slowly experienced the degradation of its various organs. But the one thing that's completely consistent about it, and which nobody has any explanation for, hey Tyler, good to see you, is that the transmission, as far as, no, that's not true. I believe it is the rear diff, because it does have all-wheel drive. I think it's
Okay.
the rear diff. Every time that I accelerate, it goes thud.
Oh,
And it's not an audio thud, it is a mechanical thud. I can feel the thud. So frequently when I accelerate, there is a lag followed by a lurch as whatever it is thuds into functionality. And I'm like, well, it's not a limited slip diff. I'm sure of that. I'm pretty sure of that anyway. I looked up the
I
VIN. It doesn't seem to have one.
okay.
They did make them with LSDs, but this one doesn't seem to have one.
Okay.
Um, and I cannot think of any other car component that would do this unless it has a lock-up torque converter. That's the only thing
Well,
I can think of.
it could be that, or it could just be like something is loose, and therefore, like the play in it,
Right.
it allows play into something when you're stopped, and then you suddenly tense the system back up, and it sort of snaps back into place.
Yeah,
I
well,
have
and the
done that
weird thing,
before.
the weird thing is, it appears to me to be some kind of overrunning component, because if I accelerate and then let off the gas and then accelerate again, that's what causes it. It doesn't
Hmm.
happen if I'm starting from a dead stop usually. So it's
Is
pretty
it,
wild.
I wonder if it's a sub. I don't know if those are body on frame, I think,
Hmm.
but they still have like the solid rear axle, right? That's got the leaf
I would
springs.
think so, yeah.
Okay, it's possible something in there became loose because like I used to drive a car with a welded diff
Mm.
that I drove to work every day because I'm an idiot,
Hey, Aiden.
and yeah, and I actually loosened the subframe bushings after a while from doing that because the rear end would skip around and stuff, and so I would occasionally get a clunk before I replaced those where there was play in the actual subframe itself on
Mm.
the bottom of the car, which sounds really sketchy. It was still held in solidly, but it had enough play that it would make noise. So it's possible it could be something with like your leaf springs. Anyway, thank you for joining.
Yep.
Tony diagnoses Gravis's Ford Explorer with mechanical maladies.
All right. Yeah, that was fantastic. Tony, it was great to have you. Have a nice day. Bye. I'm gonna
that
go
was
read a
a
magazine.
that was our best cold open we've done yet.
Correct. Hi, everyone. Hey, Aiden. Hey, Fisquall. Hey, everybody else who's joined. So we're doing the same thing we were doing last time, and we were having a great time with it. We're going to keep doing it. We think that we're going to finish this magazine in another episode or two. So everybody else seems to enjoy it, so we're just going to keep on going. So we are
uh,
back. I'm sorry.
just something real quick.
Hmm.
Your chat is not showing up on the stream, and neither am I.
Oh, so it isn't. Oh,
So
heavens to Betsy. I moved the wrong one into position. There we go. And then, oh, ruh-roh, why is the chat not showing up? Oh, just a moment, everyone. Oh, that's why. I forgot that the stream key doesn't change, but the URL does.
yeah, that's what I figured. I can cover
Oh.
for you because I have this cool new diorama that I cold opened with.
No, I'm almost
Then
done. I'm almost done. You don't need to share your diorama. No, I love it when you share your dioramas.
no, it's there's too much going on right now to share it all. But
Mhm.
as soon as you're set, then
We'll
we can.
share.
Oh,
We'll
there we
share at
go.
some
I see
point.
it.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
share at some point. All right. Anyway, so let's find our place in our books. We return once again to the stage of history. This is the best products of 1992, the first edition of PC Magazine from 1993. Hello, Green Squid. Yes, I am absolutely doing this for the UK crowd, or EU crowd. It was bumming me out that so many people couldn't join. They kept commenting like, "Oh, I'd love to join when you're actually streaming." And I did the math. I'm like, "Wait a minute, I can just do this at 10. It'll work." Anyway, so we are back to we're about 1/3 of the way in to the first edition of PC Magazine from 1993, from January 12th. Oh, hey, Tube Time. How's it going? And prior to this, we had some interesting run-ins with databases, among other things. This page here that we've opened on has some modems on it, which I'm already sold on. So let's go ahead and just let's go straight into it, because actually I pre-gamed on this page just a touch by accident. I accidentally read ahead. I read ahead in the book, um, and there were a couple. There were a couple things that I wanted to point out right away. So, anyway, let's start with RBase. So, I've never known what RBase was, but my assumption is that it's in the same vein as DBase or some other early, like, rapid application development databases. It does go on to say that it follows the relational database model and the ANSI SQL standard better than any other PC-based database. Now, an important point to make about this, it says PC-based. In 1993, it wasn't like now, I think. I don't believe that you could get... So let me back up a little bit. At this point, you can go download PostgreSQL, or even MySQL, and just install it on any random computer. You couldn't do
Mhm.
that. You couldn't do that at this time.
Really?
No, absolutely not. So this is a tough nut to crack because I can't tell you the exact dates. But
That's okay. I just general
well,
concept is fine here
right.
because I'm curious.
I should say I have not read about this in detail. Is what I mean to say. So I'm rolling this as I'm beginning to smoke it. But basically, my understanding is that it used to be that DPMI. What do you mean? It used to be that databases were something that mainframes did, and something that mini computers did. Databases were a thing that you had big iron doing, and the idea of running one on a PC was kind of a wild idea, partially because databases tend to want to be networked.
Okay.
And on a mainframe type system where you have a whole bunch of people connected to one machine, it makes sense for it not to be networked because everybody is hitting the database locally. So you've got multiple users on the database, but they're all connecting within the machine itself. However, on a PC, PC networks were still only becoming a thing for most people. So I
Okay.
believe that there was not really that much of a market for a really serious PC compatible database. So at this time, I think if you were running like a SQL based a SQL style, what am I trying to say here? If you were running a standard SQL database, you were
Hmm.
probably running it on like a VAX, which is a
Okay.
basically they sort of sit between the mainframes of the ancient era and PCs. They're just sort of in between. They're a
Okay.
thing
They're a
called a mini
transitional
computer.
phase. Okay.
Sort of, yeah. They persisted for quite some time. The IBM AS400 and the VAX machines and whatnot are among machines that fit into this category, and they were called mini computers because they tended to be not room filling, but still pretty damn big.
Okay.
Um,
Gotcha.
uh, so anyway, oh yeah, Robert, I see what you're saying. Oh yeah, well in 1993, DOS extenders were quite common at this point because 32-bit computing had been around for quite some time. So yeah, it could be DPMI. It could be actually. Wait a minute, didn't it say? I could have sworn that it actually
Just
said
roll
which
32-bit
extender
power. It
you.
actually says
Oh, there it is.
the
Oh, it says
795 package uses DOS
DOS 4GW.
4GW,
There it is.
an international DOS extender.
Yeah, yeah. DOS 4GW was extremely common back in the day to provide 32-bit extensions to DOS software. And oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, DPMI. Yes, that's correct. Yes, it's DPMI. You're right. Um, Sorry. Woo. Oh man, it is early for me. I was up super late last night, so I'm getting my head in the game. Anyway,
And I
so
can't call you on it because I that predates me
big
by a
move.
decent amount.
Anyway, it's made by MicroRim, which is very funny. Also, I didn't quite realize that ANSI sequel went back as far as '89. I think I knew that in some capacity, but
So that I actually knew because I used to work with I guess the best way to describe him would be a database wizard. And that he was just sort of the person who knew everything about SQL. And part of the reason he did was because as far back as the 80s, he was working like on forums that would help have input on the standards. So he would tell me
ah,
about like the wild west of SQL. Apparently,
okay.
he met with he was one of the like very early power users and met with some of like the Microsoft people to talk to them about SSMS and it's definitely one of those things that like I think it's been around for so long in the way that it has because it's so good. That's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
that it's always where I
probably.
have the most fun with my job.
I
So
think one of
maybe
the
I'm
most
just biased.
Well, I think one of the most interesting questions about that is probably what predated SQL, what competed with SQL. There were other languages. I don't know anything about them. I think that would be an
Yeah,
interesting
same.
deep dive at some point. Is like, what are the other relational database languages like?
Yeah.
Anyway, with that said, I do imagine you talking to this guy, and he's just like, yeah, instead of select, we were gonna say choose.
I mean, legitimately, that was like some of the conversations. It wasn't
Yeah,
quite at a
I
select
believe it.
level, but it was just like basic phrasing and stuff. Yeah,
Hmm.
like
Yeah,
very,
I would
very
think
rudimentary
so.
building blocks. Um,
Gloomy, I am absolutely drinking coffee, but I'm super caffeine sensitive, so I'm actually drinking decaf. It's the good stuff. It's water process, and it gets me a little bit more awake. But it's mostly the flavor. I adore the flavor of coffee. So that's really doing most of the heavy lifting here. And Sam, it is actually 10 a.m. over here for me, which is not that early, except that I went to sleep at 3 last night because I made a boo boo with my scheduling. I looked at the clock; it was like, oh, it's 2:30, so it was a rough night for me. All right, let's go ahead and continue here. So we move on to some modems. I like
I
that this
just
just
love the name.
oh yeah, satisfaction is incredible.
It,
The '90s were quite
I'm
uh
sold already.
correct. But I just love this opens with modems last forever. Buddy, They do not. They do not. You'll amortize the money you spend on a modem today over at least 5 years. Oh, good lord. Okay, actually, what's funny about this is that in 1993 they really thought that was true, but then things accelerated. I think every year from 92 to 98 there was a new modem technology. Um,
Really?
yeah, it was quite impressive. Things accelerated very fast. Some people took issue with me for this, but I had asserted online on the internet that
You should never do that.
there really was very little increase in modem speeds throughout the 80s. There were technically increases available. So at the opening of the 80s, the best modem that you could get was I want to say it wasn't the 300 baud. Those go back to the 60s. I think they had, I want to say 600, maybe 1200 baud modems, which is it's not completely accurate to say that it's 1200 bits per second, but it's close enough for our
Okay.
purposes. So very slow, 1.2 kilobits per second, or
Okay.
I'm sorry, kilobytes per second, um, thereabouts. But then the problem is that although throughout the 80s you could get 1200, 2400, all the way up to 9600 baud modems, almost nobody in the consumer market could afford those.
Okay. Gotcha.
My experience, my observation, has been that almost nobody had modems faster than 300 baud. If you look at there were modems being sold for like the Commodore 64, for instance, which I don't know, I'm sorry, I meant the not the 64. I think the Atari ST, I want to say,
Okay.
came out in I think 86, 87, something like that.
Oh wow. Okay.
And let me just validate that. 85. Okay. Anyway, mid to
Okay.
late 80s machines were still coming out with 300 baud modems available for them, or I should say 300 baud modems were being made available for them. People
Yes.
were using 300 baud modems for like 40 years. And ooh, pardon me.
You okay?
Um I'm fine. It took a very long time for faster modems to become available to the general public. And then in the 90s, things started just blasting. Um,
Yeah. So the thing that I'm hearing here is like 1.2 kilobits per second versus 14.4 referenced in this article,
right, right.
which is a $400 modem, presumably based on their
hmm
flavor text about how much you want to invest. And that seems, compared with the rest of the technology in this article specifically, that seems affordable
Yeah,
almost.
relatively speaking. Yeah, I mean that would have been a good, an okay price at this point because, so basically the 14.4 modem, I want to say, don't quote me, I'm not doing a video right now, so I have not researched this off the top of my head, but I believe that the 14.4 modem was brand new at this point. It came out in either 92 or 93, and then like a year or two later they got 28.8, and then like a year after that they got 33.6, and then
Okay.
a couple years later they got 56K.
Okay.
It just went very, very fast. Um, and and the modems went very, very fast as well. All of a sudden, I mean, the increase in speed was
Yeah, I mean, it's orders of magnitude.
orders of
It's
magnitude. Yep.
something it's something where it's like, yeah, I could see if you are a internet connected business or very online in the 90s, you would probably actually be willing to pay for that upgrade. It's not like
Yeah.
nowadays where
Yeah. I mean, if
everything's
if you think about it, in 1989, there's a very good chance that the only modem you had was 300 baud, and in 1995, there was a very good chance that it was 33,000 baud.
yeah,
So
that's an insane improvement.
much,
And granted,
much quicker.
I don't think, and maybe this is not true, and I'm just guessing here, but I feel like the amount of data to clog the tubes had not scaled up yet.
Correct.
Whereas nowadays, like a faster device is just going to run the same because you just have to keep improving literally all of computer hardware just to run a browser because they are full of garbage. But I imagine that wasn't quite the case in the early days. So you would actually notice like logarithmic improvements in your speed
Yeah, yeah,
or
absolutely.
exponential or whatever. I'm bad at math. That's a whole joke on my podcast. I can't be held to getting the terminology correct. But
So,
okay, well that's an interesting
yep.
side note. I love the branding.
Yeah, it's
It's my
very good.
favorite part of the whole thing.
By the way, somebody made a quip. I don't remember who, but somebody made a quip that this was probably a Win modem. I actually doubt it. This device Win modems had not yet become huge at this point, and I can tell from the picture of the board here, this thing has controllers built into it. This is controller based, I'm sure of it. It's probably DSP based, and there was some confusion about what that meant. A lot of people have some misunderstandings about the distinction between a soft modem and a Win modem. And then the normal type of modem that had become available at this point, which was DSP based but fully hardware implemented. Anyway, the point though is this one, I would bet you, is a fully hardware implemented, what they call a controller based modem. Especially because it actually says it has a fax coprocessor on it. So that's wild. I've actually never heard of that. Fax coprocessor is a powerful, powerful item. Now, eBay.com. Whoa. What?
Is your system clock on your PC?
Oh, it's
VM
quite
messed
wrong.
up?
It's quite wrong. Let me go in and turn on internet time. Update now. I don't know why it's having trouble with that. Pardon me. All right. Anyway.
You appear to have time traveled, and therefore we cannot deliver this certificate.
Okay, it turns out there's a shoe called a Satisfaction, and I don't know why that is.
I kind of want those. Oh wow, that box art is super good.
Okay, here's what I was looking for though. So here's an Intel Satisfaction, and actually, holy crap, there's a lot going on here. This thing has 4 big boy chips on it. I'm very impressed. Wow, that branding.
Oh.
And you got the R and the TM, eh?
Oh, that's so good though. Bring up the box art if you could when you're done with this.
Let me.
It's like,
here we go. Oh,
yeah.
absolutely, great looking faxes.
Oh my God.
A cinch to use.
Come
yeah,
on.
very.
That's
Incredible. You know, I should point out that on the left side here, it says smart line sharing, and I don't know what that means off the top of my head. I'm not super sure what that means. So I think what that means, however, is back in the one moment. Okay. Back in this era, there was the possibility of having a modem that would recognize what kind of call was coming in. And it would do this based. There were a few different ways to do it. I don't quite understand how they all work. There was one where it would recognize whether it was a fax call or a voice call based on the ring style, but I don't know how people managed to get the ring style to change. So basically, if the line like rang and then stopped and then rang again very quickly, that would indicate that it was a fax and the modem would pick up. But I don't know if you had to get a second phone number to make that possible or how that worked. I'm not sure. Anyway, this particular one is a little early for that kind of functionality. This is the /200, not the /400. And yes, the other one that I looked at was a different model. I was just looking at Satisfactions in general. In fact, here's the 400. Here's the external version of the 400. Oh, I guess that's what the 400E is. The E stands for external. Oh, okay.
Okay. It has a free software bonus. It's a $229 value.
Oh, actually, what is the free software bonus? Because award-winning product of choice for over 1.5 million users. What is the free software bonus? Oh, Crosstalk Communicator. Ooh, get online fast. Talk Communicator. What is that? Here we go. It's on WinWorld. Oh, I don't even need Astro set up. I got my VoIP ATA does everything I need to. All right, so it looks like this thing is also just basically a phone dialer. I don't know. It's a powerful telecommunication program with many scripting features.
Budget version of a larger product also. So the communicator is just the is like the light version.
There's more to Adobe than the reader. I meant Acrobat. Ah, geez, I messed it up.
It's still funny. It still works.
Benjamin, I don't think so because that didn't become a feature until the V90 specification. That was added in the V90 specification in 1998, but prior to that, that should not have been possible. Oh, actually, you know what? We got a picture here. Smart line sharing identifies incoming calls as telephone, fax, or data. Why buy a fax switch? Oh, of course. Yeah, no, I'm sick of my fax switch.
Also
I'm
takes
so
advantage
tired
of distinctive ringing where available.
available.
So
there we go.
you did get that part right. I just that sounds like something that a video should be made about because neither of
Oh,
us have any idea, of
yeah,
course.
I
Because like
definitely want to. Here's what I think is going on. I have to read the manual to confirm, but I suspect strongly that what this does is it accepts a call, and then it listens for a fax tone,
hmm
and then if it doesn't detect one, then it alerts you in some way to pick up the attached phone and have a call.
Okay.
So basically, the computer is screening your calls for you. I strongly suspect that's what's going on.
I'm sorry, but I just saw an acronym on here that I'm in love with.
Okay.
Whippy whiff. What you print is what you fax.
Oh God!
Which
Do you
I
notice
mean,
it has a TM after it? It's like this is
I
a
see
forced
that.
meme.
Oh,
Um,
that is, and it's got the R and the TM. They were really like policing that intellectual property in the early '90s, I guess. I saw that and I love it. But I'm not going to glean a ton of. Actually, there's stuff on the bottom. It looks like where it's got modem speed and your co-processed faxing
oh
and
yeah,
all your
you're
different
right.
features between the 400. Oh yeah, and the
Oh, and they
400E
sold the
is the
200,
external one.
and they sold the
Yes.
200 and 100 at the same time. Huh? Interesting. Does that say?
Okay.
Does I can't
P-
quite make out what that
PC 1.5.
slash Epson?
Yeah. It might be PCI point 5. I don't know.
That doesn't make sense. Can I? Because it did make me wonder if maybe there's some sort of a. Man, that's bugging me. Um, it's gonna bug me that I don't know what that says. Um, sorry, hang on a second. Let me get back to where I was. PC 1.5. Let's see if we can find a better scan of the box because now you got me curious.
Sorry. I was just trying to look up the features.
No,
It's
it's
interesting
fine.
that they sold the 400 and the 100 and the 200 at the same time, given
Yeah.
the sort of exponential speed difference between the two of them. But I guess if you're running a tiny business and you just need to like get faxes,
Well,
like it
people
doesn't
were.
matter all that much.
Yeah, I mean there would have been significant price differences.
Yeah, yeah.
So it makes sense, but. I wonder if that was. Oh, it was PCL5. There we
Oh, okay.
go. Okay, it was. They're talking about the printer emulations. What? Printer emulations. Wait, was there a way to fax PCL? Or
What?
maybe.
Huh.
Sorry, hang on. Oh, I'll bet I know what's going on. I'll bet I know what's going on. I'll bet what this thing does is you install this modem into your computer, and then when you want to send a fax, you print from your word processing program or whatever, and the modem shows up as a printer.
Oh,
So you send it a PCL fax, or you send it a
okay.
PCL print job, and it renders it into a fax. That makes a lot of sense. Modern Windows faxing works with that as well, but it uses a built-in Windows API for it, so the hardware
Okay.
doesn't. The hardware and the drivers don't need to support it explicitly. Um, but
Okay.
yeah,
It
it
does actually
makes
say on the side there too. It says send faxes without leaving applications.
yeah.
So that sounds like a fairly big selling point. Honestly, that's actually pretty convenient.
Yeah, this was cool stuff. This was really cool stuff. Okay, let's get off the fax machine.
Sorry, I just
No, it's
one
no.
last note
I'm the
on
one
this
who's
is
been on eBay for 20 minutes.
one last thing. I do actually. It's interesting to see Intel's old branding on
Oh,
that kind of
absolutely,
stuff.
yeah.
They had such good design language, and now they're blue.
A fascinating thing about Intel is just that they used to be in a lot more markets. They were dipping their claws into a tremendous number of markets, trying to do a whole bunch of different things, and that they all just sort of left by the wayside. So,
Yeah.
all right. Also, oh, okay. So let's move on. So the next thing here is Superstore Pro. Now, we still have like built-in sorry, we still have real-time file compression now. You can compress your entire hard drive, and Windows will just transparently compress and decompress it on the fly. But throughout the 80s, actually, is where this started. DOS shipped with a program called Drive Space that was on-the-fly disk compression, um, and that was in I think the mid 80s, like 84, 85, something like that. Um, and at that time, it was extremely important because hard drives were very, very tiny, and people ran out of space very, very quickly.
And
Even given,
expensive.
yes, yes, even given how much smaller files were on average at the time. People weren't typically taking, photos and videos and stuff like that were pretty much unheard of on the PC. Even taking that into account, people still ran out of hard drive space very, very quickly. Um,
Okay.
so drive space was a pretty big deal. Um, but this does make a good point about why disk compression was and is sketchy, which is all the data on your disk is stored in a format that only Superstore Pro understands. So many users are squeamish about data compression
Yeah.
products. But then, this is interesting. Much of that fear is unnecessary now, since Superstore Pro's menu-driven install program removes much of the uncertainty from the process, and the manual clearly outlines the relevant safety procedures. I wonder what the heck they mean by that. Let's see if there's anything on the. Oh, well, we've got an ad here. Let me go to two up. Oops.
Oh, we have an
Oh,
ad for cows.
we have an ad for cows. Yeah. Have you considered cows? Would you like to invest in cows?
That actually, there's a Peanuts strip where Linus is convinced that he's going to become a Longhorn rancher because he
Mhm.
thinks that he can mail the 4-H a letter asking for a cow and they will send him one. So maybe this is an advertisement for that program.
All right. Oh, it's wait.
Whoa, 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 whoa! This Hyundai 486
Oh yes,
SX,
yes.
like Hyundai the car company,
Yeah, I
or
mean,
like
Mitsubishi made computer monitors.
yes, but
They're all Zaibatsus.
I know, but it's just like
You
it
know what?
kind of reads like I'm having a stroke, so I wanted to make sure I was reading it correctly.
You know what's actually you know what I actually Sorry, this ad is incredible, and I'm going to start reading it in a minute. But I just want to say I think it's remarkable that the very first thing I thought when I looked at this, for some reason, I'm now trying to figure out why I thought that, is I was instantly convinced this was a gateway ad, and I can't figure out why I thought that. I mean, I know there's a cow theme, but I could have sworn I saw the gateway slogan on here. Anyway, let's just the Hyundai 486 SX33 can outmuscle those barnyard bovines of cow country. Our 32 megapixel Longhorn local bus or a 1 megapixel moo cow? Funny, but what the hell does that mean?
Are faster than a blink Windows
30
accelerator video processing tied to the speed of your 486 CPU, or an old-fashioned bottleneck?
1
This
megabyte
is
VRAM controller.
this
Or that
is a weird advertisement.
Sorry, they're tired cow VGA. They're tired cow VGA. Oh, that's an insult. Sure.
Compare our standard 128 kilobytes of 0 state cache with non-cached cows. That is so clever. I hate it.
Yeah, actually, it's there, isn't
Ugh,
it? I'm sorry.
it
I'm going back to tired cow VGA because that's like, where did you get these graphics cards? The toilet store? Like,
this is literally George Costanza writing the jerk store bit in a computer advertisement.
it is. It is. We don't just drive the Hyundai Stampede; we overdrive it. Yeah, they've got
Oh
an
my
Intel
god, this
overdrive
is
processor. Yeah, that's cool. What?
also Hyundai's branding used to be cool as hell. Wow.
Apparently, yeah. But what the hell is the Longhorn local bus? That's nothing. That's nothing. What? Oh my god.
That's a bus company in Houston, which kind of is funny and makes sense.
I don't know. Well, I don't. I don't
Uh,
think these are it. But
it,
let's. Huh.
it's mentioned in a different issue of
This is late. This is about Windows Longhorn. Likewise here. So, yeah, I don't know what that's about.
I
That's
thought they were just making
fascinating.
it up, honestly.
I actually kind of do wonder if they're just making it up.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to
that's
see,
that's
like,
weird.
looking at the specs list, they don't mention anything about a Longhorn branded
Yeah,
component. It
yeah.
seems like they just added it into the ad text
Oh,
because
wait,
they
you know
were
what?
trying to go for a cow theme.
Yeah, I think so. There it is. 32-bit Visa local bus. So, yeah, they're just giving a fancy name to the VLB. That's weird. Huh. All right, well that's strange. Also they've tested this with Novell, good god, Banyan Vines. I don't I've seen that name, but I don't know what it is. OS2, Land Manager, and SCO Unix. Excellent. Banyan Vines. I do
Also,
not remember.
interestingly, Hyundai hadn't even
Oh.
been in the U.S. car market for a decade at this point. Like they had started selling cars here, but '86. I just wanted to check. It was the Hyundai Excel, which was I have never actually seen one in person in my whole life because they were absolutely piles of garbage. But it does make me think like my whole shtick online that I do as a joke, and it partly is true because I do own 3 of them, but I really like Hondas. So I'm just thinking about somebody being like a really big Hyundai nut in like the '90s, and they're like, "Yeah, I got the Hyundai Excel in the driveway. I got the Hyundai on the desk to log in. I'm all set." Like it's
Co-branding.
imagining a type of guy and getting amused by him, I guess, is what I'm doing right now.
I should I should also just make the comment that this is a really, really kind of sad-looking PC in reality.
Oh, it is. But have you ever seen a 1986 Hyundai Excel? It's totally in their design language.
Hmm.
That is a generic unit of car.
Yeah,
It
it's
looks like
affordable. just cutting off the
I
bottom.
like how the only real image you can find here is one of it in a junkyard, which I think really says a lot.
Yeah, there it is. All right. Let's move on. Let's get to the next page. Okay, here's the 486 Stampede. Same thing. Oh my God, they bought like a 6-page ad.
They should have maybe.
Holy crap, it's still
They should've-
going.
I like how they also say that you can get Excel bundled with the
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I was just saying, there's the co-branding. Oh
I'm
lordy.
sorry. The Windows CE netbook of cars.
Rough.
I like that a lot.
I have one of those in the other room. I have no purposes for it. All right, let's get the hell out of Hyundai country. This is ridiculous. All right, so new page.
We were talking about Superstore before. I don't know if we're gonna finish that.
Oh, well, I was.
Was
kind
there
of done
anything
with
else?
it.
Okay,
although
cool.
although this is interesting, actually, the end of the Superstore Pro review says it also comes with Optibase's JPEG image compression software, and I'm just trying to process that. I think what they're implying is that like if you had some BMPs on your hard drive, you could finally run them through this program to make them JPEGs, which is remarkable to think about. All right, so WinSpeed. What is going? This is a $79 program. Supposedly will speed up your computer. Panacea has written very efficient drivers for the most popular graphics cards from ATI, Western Digital, Trident Microsystems, and Sing Laboratories. Huh. Oh yeah, Western Digital used to make graphics cards. They're claiming that this gives you a 200 to 500% speed boost. On our own test, the gains haven't been quite so dramatic, but they're noticeable. Huh. So I guess that they were really bottlenecked by graphics. I wouldn't have thought that.
I like how their sample image has a picture of Yoda.
That is good. Yeah, I guess 1993, the internet wasn't quite around yet. They didn't have any pictures other than a single poster of Star Wars that the entire culture had collectively been toting around for 20 years. I'm right.
It's also funny because like the last Star Wars film up to this point had come out in like 1983, and then the next one wouldn't come out for another 6 years, and people were still like, "Yeah, Yoda. That's what I'm gonna use as my desktop wallpaper."
Oh,
It would be
that's the
like
thing
if the Avengers stopped a decade ago and they had not made any other Avengers follow-ups for until 2025.
I was gonna make a quip. About how Star Wars had been the enduring popularity of Star Wars, and I remembered that Yoda did not actually show up until the second movie.
Yes.
I can't remember when that was. It was like 81 or something like that.
I believe that was 81, yeah.
So, yeah, I guess at this point this was a 12-year-old franchise reference.
Just strange to see that, like, there's always been this stereotype of like computer nerds being Star Wars fans, and it's funny to see that existing as far back as 1993.
Oh man, yeah, it goes back all the way.
Also, I have a weird question. How did they get the screenshots of all this software for their advertisement or for their magazine layouts? Was it just something that was built in from the beginning, or was there like actually screenshot software you had to have?
There was screenshot software. There's always been screenshot software.
Okay.
Um, as a nuanced category. I know that the Mac had screenshots built in going back into the 80s. I can't remember
Okay.
if you could press screenshot in Windows 3. This is running in
Okay.
Windows 3. I
Yeah, that's
can
why I was curious.
I know that the thing is that the print screen behavior of later Windowses, I don't know if that was in Windows 3
Oh,
yet.
wow. I set this up perfectly without even realizing it. So the next article, Xtree for Windows,
Hmm.
says, here is an example. Until Xtree for Windows came into my life, managing screen capture files was an enormous hassle. Now, when I capture the screen as a PCX file, things are actually simple. Okay, so yeah, it was clearly it was something they were doing, but it also required thought, I guess, because they couldn't just like, I guess because of hard drive constraints or whatever.
Yeah, well, right, because at the time, so consider that. Um, da, 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 da. Let me. Okay, here. Let me switch screen shares here, and I can show you kind of what we're talking about here. We go studio mode. Studio mode. There we go. Window
Also,
capture.
serial experiments. Yes, thank you. I'm very happy with my epaulets. This is my shiny dress.
Okay, so we're here in Windows 3. And Tony, let me change my screen share here. One moment. Oh, holy crap! Oh no! Discord just exploded. Give me a second, everyone. Give me just a second. I've had a problem.
No worries.
Oh my god. Oh my god. There's not a single page that is not bescourged by the problem that I've just caused. Let me go back here. Let me do a screen share. Let me share this. Go live. And then if I pop this out, there we go. Click here. Okay, there we go. Now I should be able to get. Oh my god. There she is. Okay. Hello. Welcome back. Um,
Hello.
sorry, everyone. I had some problems. Anyway, here's Windows 3, and what I'm going to do first off is let me go ahead and go to Program Manager. Let me go to Accessories. Let me go to
Discord
Paintbrush.
can't take Windows 3.1. Yeah.
Okay, yep, there we go. All right,
Oh
sorry, I
wow.
I had just forgotten. Yep, you could do screenshots in Windows 3.
Oh
Um,
cool.
yep,
That's extremely cool
yep.
actually.
I just hit print screen, and there we go.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah, I
so
was
yeah, that
I was
always worked.
I was just curious about that. That was just something that I thought about from a production standpoint of like the magazine, given the tools of the era.
Yep, and I was gonna say, so I don't even think, can we save as a PCX with MS Paint? No. Yep, yep, we can. Okay, there we go. I feel like wasn't that PC Paintbrush's format? Anyway, so if we go to File Manager and look at the root of the C drive, okay, here we go. So yeah, here's our here's our PCX file, and so we'd have to open it to see what's going on in it, and I think. Okay, well, you could drag it around. I always have a hard time remembering what happened when. So, okay, I guess in 3.1, most of the file functionality was there, and this is from 92. So, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what their complaints were with using just the Windows File Manager for this sort
Yeah,
of thing.
that's
Other than the fact, the one thing they didn't have is they didn't have thumbnails. That's an important point. Um, the
can
hmm?
sorry. Can you switch me back to the magazine?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No, sorry. You will never be allowed to. Yeah. Here, let me change Windows.
Okay, cool.
Um.
Paintbrush
Wait a minute.
proprietary format was PBH. Huh, okay.
Oh God, I'm having some problems here. I'm
Also,
trying to.
thanks. I got more compliments on my epaulets, so I'm very happy now. My goals in dressing up have been realized, which is that people liked it, and that's all I wanted.
Discord is like freaking out and not letting me. It's not letting me change what I'm streaming.
Well, we could just look at the accessories on Windows 3.1.
Well, yeah, I realize we could do that, but come on, like,
No, we haven't
Discord,
even.
get it
We've only
together.
made it through like. But granted, we have actually made it through like 10 pages because like 7 of them were Hyundai. So
That's
we are
true.
making some progress at least.
All right. Well, let's get it back on track. Let me find the dang. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Go live. There we
There
go.
we.
Oh my
Thanks,
God,
man.
Discord is now showing me like 13 screen share dialogues that were stacked up.
Oh
Um,
no.
God, what a disaster. Just putting up like my "this has never happened before" message.
There we
Oh,
go.
jeez
Okay.
Louise.
You're yep, now we're all set. Yay.
All
Okay.
right, all right.
Sorry about that. I broke everything by being curious about drag and drop.
That's
Because that's
true.
what this X tree for Windows thing is supposed to do, and that's why I was
Yeah.
wondering, like, what was the alternative?
I'm a little confused about this, frankly, because I don't exactly know what their complaint is because drag and drop works in, well, it works in 3.1. Let me just check in 3.0 real quick. Maybe it doesn't work in 3.0.
You don't have to share that part if you just
I
want to
won't.
try it. I'm just, it just was, it was one of those things where it was like, what problem was this solving? And I guess I still don't really know what it was solving.
Nope, there's drag and drop in Windows 3 as well, so I don't understand what their complaint is. Um, that's weird. I don't have any cultural context for what this review is claiming. Weird. Anyway, I think the most interesting thing is just that from what it looks like here, it looks like it has a preview pane, but I'm looking at this now and going, that kind of looks like it's a separate window. The lower part that's got the Yoda in it. I was thinking that was a thumbnailer, but I'm not. It looks like it's a separate window entirely. So I think you still had to click on a file, double click it, and it would open in a separate window, which isn't saving you any effort over just opening MS Paint. So, yep, I'm baffled. I don't know what's going on there. All right, let's move on. Pardon me. Oh, by
NJ
the way,
Rofan said it works in DOS shell. File manager is pretty limited.
yeah, DOS shell I've used a little bit, but
Okay.
it works in File Manager too. So I don't know.
I'm not sure. Okay, well, we can move on from that
Yep.
shovelware, I guess.
Xtree
If
was
you worked
Xtree
on
was actually
Xtree,
quite good. Xtree was a really cool program, and I'd like to get the Windows version and see what it's like. By the way, it does end with if like many longtime DOS users, you have a difficult time leaving the command line. Xtree for Windows may be the catalyst that will turn you away from DOS into a full-time Windows user. Because by 1993, people still on the PC were still using DOS only, and did not have a GUI.
that's a
totally
bold
thing.
choice.
All right, so then we move on to a Zenith. Zenith had a division, Zenith Data Systems, that did laptops and desktop PCs, and they had a whole bunch of laptops for a while. So this is pretty good. After pioneering the market for notebooks several years back, ZDS seemed to lose its way. Now firmly in the grasp of French computer maker Bull HN Information Systems. I didn't know that. It makes sense because all American companies get bought by somebody overseas before that, like very very quickly. So yeah, I didn't know that Zenith belonged to some French company I've never heard of. So that's interesting. But anyway, going on. In the first place, these notebooks are handsome. ZDS enlisted the help of Frog Design. My God, Frog did everything back in this time. Those were the people
Wait, you
that,
actually know them already?
yeah,
Oh wow, okay. I was like, that's a funny name,
yeah.
and I didn't realize that they actually did a lot of stuff. That's kind of funny.
Frog Design, the firm that originally spiffed up the Apple Macintosh.
Ah,
Frog
okay,
Design is incredibly famous because
okay.
they were balls deep in Apple. I think for quite some time. No, seriously, like they're a good chunk of the reason that Apple is on the map. Well, the Macintosh is on the map, I should say.
I did not
They
realize that.
Yeah, they made substantial improvements.
But beauty is more than case deep.
Rough. Hey, this has Ethernet. Hello. This has Ethernet in 1993. Hello. What? This is
Is that
a 320.
was
Oh,
that
that's.
unusual?
Oh, absolutely.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
When did that become common?
Mm, that's a good question. I'm not sure if I have an answer to that.
Okay.
But so Ethernet was around going back into the 80s, but getting it on like an wait, that's a Zenith? I thought that was a Tadpole. Oh man.
That
Um,
is a much less pretty computer than the one that they showed an image of.
well, this one kind of looks like an Olivetti, which is I've always had a I've always had an affinity for. But yeah, yeah, exactly. As Robert said, Ethernet was a thing that you got if you were spending extra money.
Okay.
You didn't get it by default in consumer stuff until, yes, the late 90s, early 2000s. I actually have I have a Dell Pentium 3 laptop here. I think it's from like 1998, something like that. Doesn't have Ethernet. It's got a modem.
Really? Okay,
Yep.
I did not realize that. That's
hmm
interesting.
So yeah, this is that's a pretty clear LCD. Dang, look at that. Probably has really poor update rate though, because that is a black and white. That's probably I don't know if I want to say it's a passive matrix, but anyway, not a good screen. Broken, doesn't boot, as is, makes loud noise when powered on. Maybe the sound is coming from a fan, or perhaps the floppy drive. They still want $145. Go to hell. That's too much money. You know that. All right.
Welcome
All
to
right.
roasting random eBay sellers. All right, well, we can go to the next page, I guess.
Yeah, let's
Can't
go
buy one of
ahead.
those.
Can't buy one of those. Don't want to buy
It's always
one of
disappointing.
those. Oh, hello. Wait. Okay, sorry. The best of abort, retry, fail. That is a reference to DOS. PC Magazine salutes the memorable moments, people, and advertisements of 1992. Oh, okay. So this is
Finally,
like a year in review.
finally, this is where I can shine.
With that said, however, I do need to pause for a moment. Uh,
I can run through this section if you
what?
don't mind.
No, one of the authors here is Robin Raskin, and
Oh,
I'm just wondering to myself if there's any possibility that they're related to Jeff Raskin. Um, Probably not, but I'm just gonna check. Personal life. No, maybe not. Um, ah, ah. Firefox is making it very difficult. Nope. Looks like probably no relation. All right. Anyway,
I
so
love
is
I
it?
love so many of these.
Do you just okay? Go.
Uh, so my favorite is the extremely um I guess now painful joke about Ross Perot never having any ability to become president, since we've clearly proven that people who come out of nowhere with a ton of money and are idiots can become president. But they're using that as an analogy for that being the pen computer uh, being a long-term player in the 90s PC space. They said that in April, and the company that made the pen computer that they were discussing went bankrupt like 6 months later. There's the PC Magazine software naming engine. Take one from column A, one from column B, and one from column C. So we have the auto fax executive, or the Turbo Master Win.
That's accurate. That really
I,
works.
it really does, honestly. I kind of want to do it with like one of those alphabet encodings, so you can be like, "What's your name in '90s computer software?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm liking it.
I uh, I like the fact that the upper right is San Jose, California, 1992, March 2nd. The Michelangelo virus is one of the most disastrous viruses ever, with damages from the scheduled attack of the virus on March 6th possibly mounting into the millions of dollars. Was that something that actually people remember, or is that?
Huh. I'm not sure what's going on here. After that, it says wrong. Thank you for playing. What? I'm not sure. I don't know what this means. I'm not sure what that's about. Okay. Well, at any
Each year,
rate,
the virus remained dormant until March 6th, the birthday of Renaissance artist Michelangelo. It it was it just overwrote your drive, and it was supposed to be like world is falling type thing, and apparently John McAfee was part of the reason that it became so publicized.
hmm.
So
Is that how he got into it? Now, John
that's
McAfee's the one that went absolutely nuts, right?
he went completely insane. Yeah. He currently thinks the United States government is trying to kill him, and he's like at an undisclosed small island in
Right.
the Atlantic or something. So,
I,
yes.
I always have I have a tough time keeping straight in my head like who the stable of absolute whack jobs is. You know,
Yeah, he's up there. He also, I think, wanted to try to become president, but he doesn't want to come back to the United States, so I don't know how he's going to pull that off. But I don't know who Rick. I know Rick Moranis is somebody whose name I should know, but I don't know him.
oh yeah.
I'm bad at
Well, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. I think that was a movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
No, there
So it's a
wasn't
play.
there a sequel?
I
Yeah,
Was it really?
yeah, 1992.
What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, yeah. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids worked really well as a name, but then the following ones did not work very well as names. They kept
Oh,
trying to
it was
like
a joke.
leverage. No, they kept trying to leverage. Here, let's look at this. Oh my God, Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves.
I like how 1-4 shrunk TBA, implying that there is a
They're
fourth one that they are trying to come
of
out with.
course, they're
Oh
rebooting it
my
as
god.
just Shrunk. Incredible, incredible. We're just a
All
podcast now. We gotta
lowercase.
get back to the magazine. Anyway, oh, here's a bit about Michael Dell. Oh, okay, okay. Here's the bit. Here's the bit. Here's what you should know. Dell made themselves a massive name by not selling anything in stores. That was,
Really?
yes. I think Gateway did the same thing for a while. What put Dell on the map is that they were all manufacturer direct. So the joke here is that if Michael Dell came to collect an award, he would be shipped there by UPS because that was how
Ah,
you got all Dell
that is that
computers.
that is the bit. Okay.
That is the bit.
Unfortunately, there isn't as much news in this as I was hoping. This all seems like really niche jokes about like using OS2, and
Well, this is.
I that
Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. It is all OS2, and yeah, in 1992, I guess that would have been a big deal. People still would have been making some real quips about that. Um, but what Oh, okay. I see what they're saying. um, IBM created its own Amway program is a quip about the usual thing that businesses kind of do. I think still, which is if you can get somebody to sign up, they will give you a small bonus, right? So, if you go and sell OS2 to your neighbors and friends, you're going to get some money. You're going to get a kickback from it.
okay,
And
gotcha.
I guess at this point, business was still a little respectable. It hadn't gone completely off the rails into total, just like, you know, uh, completely classless, utterly graceless money grubbing. Um, so I guess this would have been a little more outrageous at the time.
I guess so. Yeah, I that the rest of this all appears to be just computer jokes. I was
It
hoping that
is.
there'd be
I'm
more.
sorry.
I was hoping there'd be more Ross Perot jokes.
Yep, no dice. Okay, now let's talk about this Oki data. Is this an ad for?
I I would like to get myself some more coffee, so I will be right back.
Knock yourself out. I'll be here. Oh, so this is about an LED printer. Hmm. Yeah, so I'll have to explain this one probably again when Tony gets back, but if anybody is unaware, there was a period which I think ended. I don't think they make these anymore, but I could be wrong. Um, where laser printers were being made with instead of lasers, they would be made with a grid of LEDs. Because the only thing about the laser, the only special thing about the laser in a laser printer is that it's a way to shine light onto the image drum at very specific locations. Um, but if you instead use a linear array of very tiny LEDs and just turn them on, in sequence as the roller turns, you get exactly the same result. Um, and I remember, yeah, they were. Let me look this up. Let me see. Let me see if anybody. I guess. Come to think of it, I guess I wouldn't be surprised to learn that a lot of laser printers are actually LED printers. It would actually make a lot of sense. In fact, I wonder. Well, I'd like to research this. Yeah, I noticed. I just noticed the Tech Connections video. I'll have to watch that later. Anyway, I guess. 1992. I guess I thought that LED printers were just a little bit later than that, but I guess this makes sense. Um, okay, are they? Yeah, Epi. That's kind of what I figured. It was one of those things where I thought to myself and I said, I would not be at all surprised if the laser part of it was completely gone because that would explain how the prices went down and the size went down to the level they did. Anyway, yeah, Tech Connections sent a ton of people my way, and if I end up very successful, I'm gonna owe it to him one way or another. There's no getting around it. Um, I'm going to be sort of standing in his shadow for a very long time.
Hey, sorry about that.
Hey, it's all good. We were just talking about I don't know if you know. Do you know how laser printers work?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you can replace the laser with a row of LEDs, and this was a popular thing for a while, like publicly. What I am being told is that this is probably still pretty common nowadays, and they just don't mention it.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
anyway, now we're getting into the articles. So this, once again, we're talking about video technology again. So making a choice in an era of change. Oh boy. Um, and I think, let's see, are they talking about? Okay, so they're talking about graphics cards, not video capture cards. I think because they had mentioned those earlier, and I think that there is a, I think that there is a an article in here talking about video capture cards. Um, but this one just isn't it. So anyway, yeah, they're talking about there were just a ton of graphics cards on the market at the time, and it was just hard to make decisions. Um, and they're moving on to basically open with the distinctions, the options that were available. So you stick with a frame buffer board that most likely came with the PC you bought. Even though such a design has little intelligence and relies heavily on the system CPU, or move up a notch to graphics accelerators, which build in specific graphics functions and offload some of the processing burden from the CPU. I never really understood in the. I have to speculate about this, but I prior to the 3D era of graphics cards, my belief is that most of what graphics accelerators were doing, because they were a very popular thing for quite some time before 3D became
Mhm.
a thing.
Mhm.
My belief is that they were basically accelerating block copies, or what are called block transfers or blitz. Um, when you're doing graphics in Windows, a lot of what you're doing or in any GUI is moving rectangular areas of pixels around from place to place.
Mhm.
And so there were tons of cards that did this. What always bugged me is that back in the day, I had a number of I had a number of graphics cards. We're talking like 1998 or thereabouts. I had a number of
Mhm.
graphics cards, some of which were supposed to be very poor and some were supposed to be accelerators, and I tried all of them, and I never saw any difference between them. I moved
Hmm.
the window in Windows, and it moved, and I never could tell what they were supposed to be doing. So I don't know. I don't know if I just wasn't using them correctly, or if I wasn't stressing them enough. Maybe they accelerated something a lot that I just
More
wasn't doing.
intense. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe if I was doing, because I was just doing normal Windows stuff, just normal forms. Maybe if I was doing like PowerPoint, I would have noticed a difference. All right. Anyway, oh boy.
There's a lot
So
of options.
yeah, this is a huge shootout. So we're gonna flip through this real quick. But just what I think is most interesting about this is let's look at who isn't here anymore. Actix, Artist Graphics, Cache Computers, Cardinal, Cellerite, Diamond is, I think, still kind of around. Edge, Focus to the Max, VGA GUI 6000. Yes!
Wow.
Yeah, baby!
The 90s truly were a different time.
Yeah, they were wild. So Hercules was still in the game, but they're gone now. Iocom, Kingston made one. Hey, Metheus Premier, Milex, NDI, Porticom, or Orchid, honestly, Presenta, Prism, PyCon, QuickPath, Sigma Designs, STV, Tangram, Video 7, VidTech, and then of course Western Digital. Almost every one of these companies does not exist anymore. Um, like they're just gone as hell. All right. Wow, that is impressive. It is impressive how completely. I'm actually impressed at how few of these companies I've ever heard of. All right.
I will give PC Magazine from 1993 credit. That is a really intense lineup, and
Yeah.
I'm just scanning through
Hmm.
the paragraph real quick about their like test procedure, and it's like intense. They were doing serious research on this. They actually wanted to help you buy the best
Oh,
thing.
yeah, yeah, I'm sure of it. Like a lot of these magazines were doing like really serious work. I don't know if they were 100% trustworthy, but like they sure looked like they were putting in the effort. By the way, I had found this company before because they also made a modem. This is a modem from To the Max. Really, really incredible stuff.
I love it.
But yes, CompGeek makes a very good point. Most likely, as I had said in our very first, that's right. In our very first episode, I said we were going to go look at this review, and so I was talking about the the history of graphics cards and how,
Yeah.
very likely all of these use like one of 5 chips.
Hmm.
But I'm curious whether they really do. Nowadays, they definitely all use one of 5 chips, but at this point, I wonder how, how similar they all were. All right, here let's try and just flip through this and see if there's anything to sink our teeth into.
Yeah, I can't read all
Um,
this.
whoa.
That
I'm sorry.
is.
Listening to authorities
Ooh.
has always been important to Dorothy Finkelbottom. Here's why she keeps her cookie recipes on the Compudine Slim Note. Can this be real?
I guess so.
How on earth?
Honestly, I kind of dig her style. It's sort of she just needs epaulets. She's close to what I'm trying to pull off here.
Okay, remember that if To The Max had become one of the big graphics companies, they would have changed their name to something that sounds like a model of car. They would have they would have become Sonata Graphics. It would have become nothing. Yeah, so this is just a generic ad for a laptop. It sounds like, but boy howdy, there's a lot going on there.
Advertising used to be just so much more interesting. Oh my god.
Whoa! Wow! The 1950s throwback energy going on here.
Yeah,
And the funny thing, of course, is just that that's
built-in trackball?
up there. So wait, do you use it up there, like up right under the monitor? Like, is that where
I
you?
I guess they were expecting you to want to be like this with your trackball over your
Yeah.
keyboard. That's not exactly an
Huh.
ergonomic choice I would have made, but also, is Compudine still around?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. I
I'm
was just
sure of
checking.
it.
Oh my god, wait, go back to that real quick.
I will. I will.
Oh wow.
Well, I
They're
think it's just some other. It's a pretty generic
okay.
name.
Ultra long life 24-watt battery pack with 12
AA
AA
NiCads.
NiCads.
Whoa. Huh. Interesting that they would say it like that. Like, I'm guessing that they're unpackaged NiCads that have been packed, and had little strips welded onto them, just like a modern lithium-ion pack. I'm sure you couldn't like pop the side and just and then put in some new ones. But it is fascinating that they're willing to just admit it like that.
Yeah, I mean maybe just because then it could be like, well, it'll be cheaper to replace it if it ever goes wrong. I don't know. That's a bold choice. That's
I
for sure.
also I also like that it calls out how it has a complete keyboard and then says that it's a delight for spreadsheets, which is super valid, but it's still very funny. Um, oh, that's interesting. So it says serial port, and then it says second serial port. It just sort of gets swallowed by this finger here. I think it's getting eaten by some Linux. It says inside unit? I don't know. Anyway, so there is a second serial port, but I don't know how you're supposed to get to it. Maybe you get the docking the port replicator. All right. Anyway, okay, that's a pretty generic.
I
piece
just
of
really
equipment.
like the aesthetic of this.
It's a strong aesthetic. I agree. It looks like an old grocery store. Um, Here's an ad for PC Anywhere, which I didn't actually realize. Wait, that was a Norton product originally, or did they get acquired? What?
It says Symantec at the bottom.
Yeah, Symantec, but it actually had the Norton branding on it. Hang on a second. I'm going to find out that it says it's by Symantec, but I'll bet, yeah, this came out in 86. This was probably, yep, developed by Dynamic Microprocessor Associates. Ooh, powerful name. Then they got bought by Symantec, and the program was renamed to Norton PC Anywhere. And then I'm pretty sure that they eventually changed it to just Symantec PC Anywhere as the Norton name diminished. And
Okay.
then they just got steamrolled by TeamViewer. Um, and this is that's interesting. So Tony, if you don't know, PC Anywhere was TeamViewer from 1992.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, you could go to a hotel and then dial back home into your PC and
Oh,
get your desktop.
okay.
So it was rough, but it worked. I need to actually, you know what? I need to do a video about PC Anywhere and other remote control programs because I don't know how fast they were or what the experience was like. Um, so I need to Oh, come on now. I do like a shootout between various remote control programs
Oh, that'd
over
be
a
really
modem
cool.
connection.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I did not realize that this was something that people were actively seeking out and expecting to work fairly well um, this far back. It makes sense, but I just never really thought about it, I guess.
Oh, hey, there's a bunch of chat messages at me. I'm sorry. I guess I got distracted. um, I'm sorry. What am I being asked? What kind of computer have built-in trackball? That was actually not uncommon. Well, I don't know if I would say it was not uncommon. There were quite a few machines that had built-in mice of various sorts. There were actually some things that were weirder than built-in trackballs. There was a type of machine, I cannot possibly hope to look it up right now and find you one, but there was a type of laptop where you pressed a button on the side and this vaguely mouse-shaped thing would pop out the side of the machine, but it didn't have a ball on the bottom or anything. It was permanently attached to the machine with an arm. And when you moved the mouse around, the position of the arm was read by sensors inside to determine where you'd move the mouse.
Well, that's certainly a solution.
Yeah, here, let's look it up. So people are saying that's the J mouse. There's just some mice there. Um, I spent an enormous amount of my life. I spent an enormous amount of my life using what is it called? Mouse keys. Like the numpad would let you. Oh, hey, here it is. This is the guy. This is somebody
What
else's
the
YouTube video.
heck?
But yeah, we could take a look at this. Yeah, there it is. There's the mouse
Oh,
button.
come on. Oh,
Nope,
come on.
there it is.
Oh, that's actually cool as hell. I hate how
And
much I like
and
that.
yeah, it works in midair. Is this an LGR video?
That's.
Wait a minute.
I think it's stolen from an LGR
Yeah,
video.
it is stolen from an LGR video. That's really funny. Oh no, oh no, he's like curled over the connecting. Don't like that. Don't like that.
That is honestly my favorite part of it is the button you hit to pop out the mouse.
Yeah, no, it's really
Like
good. It's
there
got
was
the mouse
one of the
icon on it.
things. One of the things I really like about the 90s and that I've talked about before in an automotive context that I keep thinking of as we look at like, to the max and the pop out mouse and everything is and especially like looking at these old advertisements is like how strongly companies were willing to brand or lean into an aesthetic because it was cool, because the
Yeah.
technology was still cool. Like this I have like a pretty phone case on, but it's not, it's a phone, it's a featureless black slab, and I use it to like take pictures and talk to my friends. And there's no like, I would say probably around when smartphones started coming out, that like cool aesthetic started to fade off as things got sleeker and everything. And I'm sure
Mhm.
that there's a ton of other better writing out there about it, but it's just funny to see like there's a Subaru model. I think it was the maybe the Justy or one of those that had a four-wheel drive engagement button that was on top of the shifter, and you'd push
Mhm.
it like a missile launch.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of that. It reminds me of that pop-out mouse button. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see that they were like willing to have some fun. Also, what the heck is a J mouse? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I'm curious about that myself. I've never seen this before, I don't think. A couple people in chat said that this is a key on the keyboard that acts as a mouse. How does that work? Is it like a track point? Do you like this is it a key, but also if you just like move it around, like push around like a track point, does it move the mouse? Like somebody please help me out here. How the hell does this work? I'm just looking at a key, it's got a mouse icon on it. Oh, and it's called the J mouse because it's on the J key. Heyo! Oh my
I
god, that's
guess.
why it's called the J mouse because it's on the J. Smash that J. Um. Okay. Oh, you know what? I have seen one of these before. I don't know on what, but I have seen it. Huh. Oh my god. Wait, is this one? Is this a desktop keyboard with it? Oh, wow. That's a rare clavier if there is one. Um, if anybody doesn't know, let me show you something. If you go to eBay and type in rare clavier, oops, oops.
Rare. Ooh, a Dodge Challenger.
Um, let me find it. Oh God, this is getting. Oh no, this is getting me piano music. This is not what I was looking for. Consumer electronics. Oh gosh, wow, there's none on here right now. Okay, well, at any rate, um, I was on eBay a while back, and I was flipping through weird keyboards, and I found this French listing that said rare clavier, and I've never been able to stop thinking about it. Now I don't think of like collectible keyboard. I think rare clavier. Oh man, Josh, you have a good point. That's interesting. A portable phone like a cell phone that you could plug in to a physical line. I feel like that must have existed, right? It had to have. Wait a minute, that had to have. Well, I think the ever presence of phones, of normal wired phones, might have made that less of a thing. Um, but that's something that's remarkable to think about. Anyway, so yeah, to finish up the PC Anywhere um, PC Anywhere ad here, fast remote control of Windows and DOS. I'm very curious about that, and that's one of the things we're going to need to test because I can picture how you remote control Windows. I'm having a hard time picturing how you remote control DOS. That's interesting. 15 terminal emulations. No, my brain, I can't engage with that idea right now. And 8 file transfer protocols, which also, I wonder if it went up as far as like FTP or if it was all just serial style Z modem and whatnot. But you know what? I'll do a video about that at some point because my brain has run out of gas on that topic. Whoa!
Oh
Oh man,
my
there's a lot
God.
going on here.
I honestly, I just want to look at the image.
Yeah.
Just let me see this ad.
Are we talking this one over here, right?
Oh, yeah,
So this is. Oh,
yeah.
wait a minute. Is this from number 9? Oh, it is. Okay, so let me tell you real quick about number 9. Number 9 was a graphics company that almost became a big deal.
Okay.
They for a bit were a big deal.
What happened, I guess?
A lot of companies were like really up and coming until they just weren't. Um,
Okay.
so anyway, so they made a whole bunch of these. They made
Mm-hmm.
a whole bunch of graphics cards. They were a big deal for a bit. God, I feel like they might even have made they might even have made like a Voodoo. I think they might have made like some 3D accelerators. Um,
Okay.
but here's the important thing. Uh, give me a second. Come on. Let me see if I can find. Oh my God, I don't know how to find it. If anybody
Would
has,
you like to listen to Nine Inch Nails?
there are some people watching this video who know exactly what I'm talking about, and if anybody can get me a link to the thing that I'm trying to describe, I would be so grateful. Um, there it is. So number 9 was obsessed with the Beatles, hence the name, and they embedded Beatles lyrics
Oh,
into their
come on.
boards so that you could shine a light through them.
Why?
hmm Um,
Why?
you want the answer? The answer is because they had personality. They actually had. Thank you. Thanks, Comgeek. I actually don't have a way to get that in my VM right now. Uh, damn it. Um, let me see. 01-338-110-00. Can I just look that up? Nope, doesn't matter. All right. Well, anyway, let me see if I can find you, however, a picture of. Give me 1 second here.
Okay, I can cover for a second.
Yeah, if you just want to go ahead. So this is the number 9 GXE. Quite some graphics there. Oh geez, went up to 1280 by 1024 in 1992. That was quite a card.
I like
Wow.
I like how their graph is the space shuttle versus a rudimentary tractor. That is such a good advertisement. My God,
It's very good. Yeah.
it's like oil painted. It's got like an actual signature on it too. So it was like actually probably oil painted, which is extremely cool.
Okay, I think. Oh, here we go. Okay. I found what I was looking for. There was something else. There was something I wanted to show y'all. That's really just over the top. Let me see if I can find a picture of it now. It's the number 9 Ticket to Ride.
Oh, come on.
Yep, that's the full name. Okay, let's just go to Google. This thing is worth the wait if I can find a picture of it because it is quite a kick in the pants. Oh geez, this isn't going very well. Let me. All right, give me a second, folks, and
All right. Well,
I've got the pictures in front of me. I just need to get them into my VM. So please hold.
I can talk for a second.
Go ahead and talk.
Okay, cool. I've got a mess on my desk now because I've got my diorama going. But actually, I just noticed the little name box for me covers it up, which is probably good because it looks like an absolute disaster area over here. But yeah, I've got a new one of these I'm working on. I actually asked at some point I would love to discuss this with more people, but I asked in Gravis's Discord about trying to get some tips and advice on resin printing. Oh, now you can see how much of a mess it is. And because I've been doing everything with PLA, and like the scale and stuff is okay. I've been having some issues with like stringiness on some of these, and I think a lot of it is just that I'm printing things that are a little bit small for the resolution of my printer and for the PLA. So I'd be curious to look into resin printing. The thing is just like I'm lazy and oh, okay. Did you find the image?
I did find the image. Yes.
Okay.
I am now ready.
But yes,
So
if anybody ever wants to discuss resin printing and they're in the Discord, please let me know. But let's
yeah.
go.
All right. This is the number 9 Ticket to Ride, and I don't know when this thing came out or anything like that. I don't know what I can do. It doesn't matter. Let me show you why I wanted to show this to you. This is the back.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is actually worth the wait. You are correct.
Like,
wow.
there's so much going on here. It is the ticket to ride. That's the ticket. Pointing, hey, that's the ticket to ride. But also, I like when you put it all together and then layer it over the PCB. I feel like Leod Wolf. That's a very funny joke you just made. When you layer it over the PCB, it feels like the Evangelion graphics. I can never remember the name. Like oh god, I can never remember the name of it. But the just
like
the
the heads-up
art.
display?
No. Like the I think they're from Hebrew mysticism. Like the diagrams that are in a whole lot of animes just represent like occult stuff in general.
Oh yeah. I know what you're saying. I don't know the name for them either.
Oh, thanks, Josh. I really appreciate that. I tried I tried really hard to make that good. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm gonna try. Wait a minute. Oh wow, I've just been. Here we go. Oh baby.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so much. Wait, I think there's a bigger picture here. This one here, I think is better quality. Excellence in PC graphics. They integrated the FCC ID into the graphics. Seat 9, row 9. It's got the man. This is so much. This is so much. Also, American company, which was a thing a lot more at that time. Massachusetts. They have their phone numbers on the back of the graphics card. Ah dang. I can't remember. I gotta get the drivers for this thing. Just pull it out of the computer and just. Anyway, 1994. Yeah, I kind of want to collect these things just to hang them on the wall. I don't even like the Beatles. All right.
So that okay. I will say, like, this advertising choice is really bold, and I was like, wow, that's cool. And I guess it kind of makes sense now because a company that was putting Beatles references on their actual physical products for fun would make this advertisement.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
This is not some sort of like, this is not forced quirkiness or somebody at the company knew an artist. This is just literally like their culture was probably like that.
I think they were just like this. Yeah, I think this guy worked for them.
Okay, well,
all right.
It still whips.
Yeah, no, it whips very hard. Let's also take a quick look at this. I don't know why this looks so scudgy, but I just love there is a flow chart here at all. Buying a new motherboard or computer? Yes. Need to buy it within the next 6 months? No. Wait. Oh man.
That's how I play video games, actually. I just new video games come out and I wait about a decade until my computer can run them easily, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna play this now.
Oh
It
man.
sucks if you'd like to keep up with any cultural references, but it's really cheap.
Robert, I'm afraid you missed us talking about the entire category of number 9 graphics cards. So catch that on the VOD. It's worth it. um, anyway, I'm not going to go into it super deep, but basically, a lot of the chips that I'm seeing described here are, in my mind, pretty sad. The ATI Mach 32 was probably pretty cool. It's ATI. They went somewhere, but the rest of this is like Texas Instruments used to make graphics chips. Apparently, wow. Cirrus Logic, I've never found a machine and went, oh, there's a Cirrus Logic chip. This is good news. Um, Chips and Technologies was a company that was on its way out at this time, I believe. They used to be a big deal, and then they just evaporated. I can't remember who bought them, but I don't know if the Winjin, terrible brand, Winjin. Oh man, I got we went NVIDIA GeForce. Okay, that's pretty cool. Oh, I have a Winjin. Strong wedgie energy. But also, yeah, for some reason, Western Digital at this time was making graphics chips. They had not yet become. I'm sorry, I said for some reason. That's silly. The Western Digital now makes only pretty much exclusively hard drives, but they
Hmm.
used to make all sorts of controller cards.
Okay.
A whole bunch of different types. What I was going to do actually is I was going to flip back a couple pages because I forgot that there was this info box here that was interesting.
Okay.
Different. These are the categories of graphics adapters. So there's frame buffers, which are basically just a chunk of memory and a digital analog converter.
Okay.
Um,
Gotcha.
so you just put them in the machine, and then your CPU is responsible for almost all the effort of writing stuff into the graphics memory. Hey Ben,
Okay.
nope, you haven't missed the whole thing. I think you're in about the middle of it. Um, and then fixed function builds in functionality for specific graphics functions such as bit blitz and line draws. Um, and it says
And
that's
BitBlit
ideal
is
for
what you discussed earlier, where it was
yeah,
like
moving
drawing the
like a
squares.
rectangle, like copying a rectangle of graphics memory. So
Okay.
basically,
Gotcha.
imagine like when you drag a window, it used to be the case that the whole window didn't move live,
Hmm.
because then it would have to redraw for every frame. Instead, you
Yes.
just drag like the border, and when you let go, it would then basically take a screenshot of the window and then paste it over here,
Gotcha.
rather
Okay.
than redraw the whole thing.
That makes sense.
So this would have been considerably more efficient for doing that. Um,
Okay.
also, so then we have accelerators. Let's see. For VGA performance, the quickest dumb frame buffer we tested only delivered 1/3 the speed of the fastest accelerator based on ATI's Mach 32. But I don't know what they were actually. I don't know how they do their acceleration. But then graphics coprocessors are able to serve as CPUs, but are instead dedicated to calculating display image data. The most famous family of these is Texas Instruments TMS 34010 and 020. Oh, okay, and these for like these were intended for like AutoCAD use. Huh.
Hmm.
Um, no, shaders. Yeah, shaders were not around for quite some time. Because 3D shaders didn't become a thing until 3D, and 3D didn't become a thing until the late 90s. I don't know what the coprocessors bit is about. I don't really exactly know what that's doing. All right, moving. Whoa. The ad typeface are afraid the big companies don't read. Anyway, fonts. We're talking about
Yeah.
fonts again, baby.
This is fonts.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
We're
wow, I like
back on font.
Hobo, which is uglier Comic Sans.
You don't think that's comics? Oh, actually, I guess that's better Comic Sans. Um, yeah. So, Infinitype Plus. This is $100 font pack, which is actually killer even now. These were
Yeah, it
PostScript
is.
and TrueType. That's a great deal. That's a great deal. That's a set of fonts that you could still be using. Although
Yep.
some of these look pretty silly, I think to us now, but like on stage, for instance, I can see this being like the advertising copy
I
font
think that was
for.
I think that was Kinko's font for a long time. That looks familiar to me.
Wow.
Like some of these actually definitely look familiar, and were used for things. I just can't
Mm.
name any of them. But
And yeah,
no, I mean, paying $100 for 124 fonts is pretty solid.
I think
Like now.
Baskerville. I'm pretty sure Baskerville is in like Adobe products now.
Yes. Yes, it is. I kind of want to get Quadrat now. That's a good one. It's
Let
got
me
a
find that
nice
link.
like.
Yeah,
It's got
that's
like a light,
solid.
nice like '90s look, but without being overly dated. I'm a
Yeah.
fan.
Yes, that's pretty good. Wait, they've taken the like hear no evil. Oh no, they're all blind. Okay, I get it. I thought they were doing the fucking thing, but no, they're
I
just all blind.
refuse to hear the fonts.
But that they probably wanted to do the that thing, but then they were like, wait, you can't hear a font and you can't say a font. Also, additionally, this is not just fonts. This also, in addition to typefaces, Infinitype includes a type scaling engine that supports popular DOS applications like WordPerfect, LetterPerfect, WordPerfect Works, Microsoft Word, and Works. Ooh, that's rough. WordPerfect, LetterPerfect, WordPerfect Works, Microsoft Word, and Works is quite a sentence. Anyway, so this is a plugin. This is a plugin, which I think that's yeah. Like I think Adobe Type Manager was doing about the same thing, where it was a plugin that enhanced your composition software. Um, but that oh my god, yeah, the Aeropunks, good call there. Us 99.95, them expensive. No, if
That's
you
how I
have
comparison shop for things that are nice versus things that I buy on Craigslist.
I'm also liking scaling engine. No, if yes, fewer faces. This has strong like fonts for my real friends, no fonts for my fake friends energy. Also, I like that it's not Infinitype, it's Infintype. Is that right? No, that's a typo. What? Wait, they
I,
screwed up their logo. Yeah.
maybe it's like a combination I and T.
Oh, it is, but it's not coming through in the. Hang on, let's go back to. No, you can only really see it here, but you can see that there is a red
Yeah,
eye embedded in
yeah.
the T, but it gets completely. I wonder if that is a scanning error when this book
I
was
think it's a scanning
digitized,
error.
or they screwed up. They just messed up the. Oh, hey, they've got the fonts down at the bottom. The headline is Sans Black and the text font is Garamond.
I demand that all advertisements now come with that.
Correct. Yes, they should all have to
I
tell you. They should all have to
Everybody
pull back
should
the
tell me
curtain.
what their fonts are all the time because I like to replicate cars in Dirt Rally, and I need to know what they are.
Valid. Valid. All right. Oh. Hello.
Ooh, what is that?
Oh man. Yeah. What is it?
It's There isn't enough resolution for me to tell. It's just blobby, which is like
Yeah.
the generic '90s bike. I wish
Yeah.
that my girlfriend was in here right now because she'd probably know.
I'm opening up my video Trello board right now so I can put some ideas on there for several things I need to cover in topics. One of them is font engines for DOS word processors, and the other one is let me put RBase in there, and then oh shoot, what was the one? Oh, PC Anywhere over modem. There we go. Whew, almost lost those. I could have forgotten those, and that would have been a bummer. Hey Corey, thanks for showing up. Good to see you. We've added extra power to an already great ride. New Stat Graphics Plus takes you farther. Okay, so it's a graphing program. Offers over 250 different statistical procedures, including regression analysis, ANOVA, quality control, experimental design, multivariate methods, forecasting, and much more.
You should consider a career in infomercials if this doesn't work out.
Oh man. Oh, if you got a 386 or 486 base PC, grab your racing helmet because anything Stat Graphics can do, Stat Graphics Plus can do up to 5 times faster. But like, wouldn't Stat Graphics also do it faster on those machines? I don't know. Oh, actually, no. I'm sorry. It's probably because it might be because it's using extra memory that wasn't really available on 286s and earlier. Since it utilizes all the RAM in your computer, it can handle the largest problems. Okay, so that's valid. All right. So, oh. I love local numbers. In Maryland, you can call them at 301 blah blah blah. Outside the U.S., also 301 blah blah blah. Oh no, they have a different number.
Can you
And then they have
scroll
a
up real
number.
fast? I am pretty sure that is a Yamaha Seika 2, I think.
That would scan.
The blobbiness of that front fairing with the naked lower portion
Mhm.
with tri-spokes, that definitely looks like that. It
I
just took
don't.
me a minute to remember.
I should point
I
out I
had to.
don't like it.
No, I don't either. I think it's ugly, but I wanted to find out what it was because it was. Yeah, it's definitely like a late '90s Yamaha. It could either be a Seika or like they made some other versions of with smaller motors that look the same because they always do that. But it's hard to tell without being able to like count the
Growing number
exhaust.
of chips. When the party's ramping up. All right.
So no.
Whoa! Yeah, baby. This is the image with the guy's face. That's. Whoop.
It's like
Um.
whoa.
Yeah, this is a lot. So they're running Adobe PageMaker 4, which no, I'm sorry. At this point, it was probably still Aldus PageMaker. Um. What is the cell here? The Nanao. Oh yes, Nanao. I buy all my monitors from Nanao. The Nanao Flex Scan.
My favorite thing is that they're like, our new 35-pound 15-inch edition. It's like, wow, that was a selling point, but it
Mhm,
sounds like a downside.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, so it's an Invar shadow. That's normal. I think Invar was common at that time. 1024 by 768. God, that still sounds so high for 1993, but 1024 by 768 at 76 hertz sounds so unreasonable for 1993. To me, that's something you didn't get till like 1999. But I guess. Um, oh, I'm sure Nanao was a big deal in their time. It's just I think it's very funny that there's all these companies we've never heard. Well, you have, we've heard of if you read about them, but they disappeared, just poof. It's remarkable. All right, cheaps. Let's move on to. Okay, we got more system ads, which we can't get too tied up on. Northgate Computer Systems, never heard of them. These are probably rebrands. So I'm just going to move on from that. Whoa.
From 6 pounds to 60 gigs.
Okay,
Those are not equivalent units of measurement.
not only that, but I think you're supposed to read that as like basically from 6 libs to 60 gibs. I
No.
think is how you're supposed to read that. 60 gibbs is way too many cats. I do not have the energy for that many cats. All right, but
Wait,
anyway.
they have lease rates. What? Is
Oh,
that still common?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Most fleet systems at companies are leased.
Huh.
Yeah, the laptop that I have here from work is leased.
Did not realize that. Okay.
So anyway, but what I'm interested in is it said 60 gigs. How does that? Oh, there we go. Yeah, here's a Northgate external disk array, 400 meg space storage up to 60 gigs. 60 gigs. What would that have been? Man,
Uh,
CompGeek, Corey, do you have some input on this? How? That seems like way too many. That seems like it would have been like 2 refrigerators of hard drives. Trying to understand how that's possible. Because I feel like in 1992, in 1992 you couldn't get a 1 gig hard drive, right? So that automatically means it's got to be more than 60 drives. I don't even need to open calculator for that. Um, yeah, it would have to be. Yeah, yeah, it would have to be. It says 5 channel array. I don't know if they're talking about SCSI channels or what. I'm trying to process that. How would you manage? That's so
it
many
says
hard
single
drives.
SCSI 2-channel expandable to 2, 3, and 5.
Right, but I guess I don't know. By channel, do they mean chassis? Because if it's 5 chassis, then I guess that starts to make sense. Um, by the way, 5 independent power supplies. That seems like too many. Like at that point, that seems like a lot. Um,
Hey, it only costs the same in 1993 as the entire contents of my driveway currently cost.
oh man, all right. That's a kick in the teeth. I never would have thought 60 gigs. I'm having a really hard time not saying 60 gibbs.
Corey
Um,
said like 100 full height 5.25-inch drives.
all right. Yeah, that's remarkable. All right, here's just an ad for some programs that you could get from this company. You could get them from anyone, but you could also get them from them. Um, oh boy!
Oh
All
my
right, now we
god.
get into the good stuff. We get into the benchmarks. Um, let's see. So is higher better? Thousands of operations per second. So lower is better. Um, that would make sense then. These are complementary graphs. So what is the fastest card? It looks like that's going to be this S3 here, if I'm understanding correctly. Oh, and this is AutoCAD. Okay, they're doing AutoCAD operations. Um, oh yeah, certainly. Like I can believe they were expecting you to put your own hard drives in that machine. Just still, wow, that's impressive. But yeah, that would have been for businesses. Nobody could produce 60 gigs of data at home. It's impossible. At this time, it would have just simply been impossible. Um, I find charts like this to be like incredibly useful in concept, but utterly impossible to read. My brain
Yes.
cannot. This is nothing to me.
I cannot parse this.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
brain
It's
does not function.
just like nope. Sorry. Good. Okay, let's
So
move
really, what
on.
it boils down to is the expensive ones were good and the cheap ones were
Typically the
garbage.
case, yeah. And
I
we know
mean,
in retrospect, just buy an ATI. Um,
yes.
so this is interesting. Some fear it, all respect it. We build it. Wow. So is it a dot matrix? It feels like it might be. Let's see. 25 megahertz RISC processor. Oh, that's cute. It's got native Ethernet. Um, supports NetWare. Excellent. 600 by 600 DPI. What? That doesn't make any. Oh, right. Sorry, no. What am I thinking? So DPI dot pitch on printers would have been function would have differed in both axes, because in order to scrub across horizontally, you're using a very small head and a motor if it's a dot matrix,
Hmm.
or you're using a laser that's scanning. But the other dimension is achieved by moving the paper, which is a completely different mechanical process. So I can
Ah,
believe that this would be that there would be printers with different vertical versus horizontal
okay. That
resolution.
makes sense.
Yeah, right. Um, let's look this bad boy up.
You can still buy
Uh,
toner for it.
well, that's the thing. This says 860, so I don't know if this is necessarily the same. They might have had a lot of models under this. Oh, yeah. In fact, they had a QMS 1660 hammerhead, which went up to 1200 by 600 DPI. So there we
Okay.
go. There were in fact, and then let's see, laser printing. There it is. Yep, it's a laser printer. Yawn.
Okay.
We just accidentally opened up a different PC magazine. Can't do that.
No,
Can't
we will
ever do
never,
that.
ever finish if we do
Never.
that. We're at
Never.
page 194. We're doing pretty well.
We're doing pretty well. Let's see, where are we in the? Let me go to the single page view. We're less than halfway through.
Ah.
All right. Let's take a quick look here. So, what is a Microsoft peer-to-peer notebook? I have no idea. First upgradable to color notebook. What is going on in this dimension? I don't know. I don't speak this language. The first notebook preloaded with network client shells. I sort of know what that means, but holy crap, this is nonsense. Okay, the answer is that printers aren't named this aggressively anymore because nobody wants to print anything unless they have to. Printing is now considered an unfortunate thing that you must do. People used to get excited about printing. All right. Anyway, so this is. Oh wow! You know what?
No,
Um,
I don't know what.
this is. Oh, it's the Zenith. Oh, it's the Zenith Data Systems machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then, wait, is that what was being?
Damn, I wish I could get that lady's
Oh,
jacket. That is
okay.
fire.
This is a Zenith ad. Yeah, that is fire.
With the shoulder pads, I need shoulder pads to come back. They look
That's
actually pretty cool on
Sandy
me.
Blagajev.
Oh,
Sandy
well,
Blagajev.
her
Great
her
name.
she absolutely brought the drip to the photo session for the advertisement.
Look, these shadows, there's a lot going on in this photo
Oh, there
shoot.
is.
Yeah, yeah,
I like
yeah.
I like the turn of phrase, a Johnny come lately notebook from one of them.
Wait, from one
Right.
of them. Oh, that's powerful. I'm also a big fan of like you can spend up to $500 over quote and still not get networking from those other guys, implying that the other guys aren't multinationals.
Yes.
Like these are massive. These like laptops are being sold by massive corporations by and large. It's like, oh yeah, those other guys like Compaq,
There was
Hewlett
so much shade being
Packard.
thrown. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Powerfully shadeful. Yeah, the Merlin phone. I actually I wanted to get a Merlin system for a long time until I discovered how many parts it had. But I just want it so it can do the boop 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 doop ring. I just want to hear that. Oh my God, they bought another 6-page spread. Gosh, they were putting out so much money. Good Lord.
How much money did they have for advertisements?
Wait,
Like,
the only PCs that come with all these big names: Intel, Connor, and Jeffrey Crouch. Who? Oh, okay. This was an in joke. Jeffrey Crouch
oh,
is a fake, made up tech support guy.
okay.
Okay,
Hey, that guy
whatever.
looks real.
Sure. I doubt his name is Jeffrey Crouch. Oh yes, the Buyer's Bill of Rights. That was a thing. I remember now. I don't remember if that was just Zenith's thing. Yeah, Robert, you're right. I would actually love to do that. Let me make a note of that on my video Trello board. Network services shootout, Landman, Novell, etc. And we'll come back and revisit that. Oh, Banyan Vines. Ah, damn it. Oh, this thing sucks.
Yeah,
Here we go.
the main thing now is like, I only have a couple of physical magazine subscriptions, and they are primarily automotive, but like this whole like we're gonna buy a 7-page spread thing
Mhm.
is companies that currently are such powerhouses that they have racetracks named for them because they paid for it. Like WeatherTech is really famous for that in the automotive advertising industry because they have deep pockets and they make like custom cut floor mats and stuff. And they'll buy like 4-page spreads, but they also have Laguna Seca naming rights. So they're not exactly a small company.
um,
That's
yeah,
why does it look like George Bush got run over by a
somebody,
steamroller?
somebody's getting horny for this. Sorry. Uh, Today's graphics cards bulldoze you into a compromise, but that's not a
But that's a
bulldozer; it's a
steamroller.
steamroller. I don't. I feel like they could make the analogy with steamroller here too. Also, sorry. Can we talk about how ATI's Graphics Ultra Plus also has a mouse port? That is sending me. That is sending me.
Oh, but they did say at the very end they say avoid crushing disappointment. But he's being
Hey.
flattened, not crushed. Those are
Oh, come
different
on.
words.
No, that's pedantry. Um,
Why do you think you have me here? It's certainly not to make valid points. It's for pedantry.
you've made several valid points. I expect
Mm,
better from you.
I'll do my
Also,
best.
one thing the one thing that's wild to me is this is the first graphics card. This is the earliest graphics card I've ever seen with a heatsink. Do you see that?
Huh. Yeah.
Actually, it's not a baby heatsink. There's sort of a big heatsink on there. Graphics Ultra Pro name. Um, hey, Emran, thanks for showing up.
Yeah, I think it's the first
Wow.
that
Oh, it's not a heatsink. Those are vertical memory modules.
Oh, okay.
That makes more sense. I was like, there's no way anybody at that time was making a chip that could dissipate enough heat to require a heatsink. All right. Moving on. Moving on up. I wish I could care about this article. I'm sure there's all sorts of interesting things in there, but I just can't do it. Oh, hello. Ah, an IBM ad. Oh no, the PS value point. This was the point. At this time, IBM had already realized that they had failed and lost, and were making budget computers.
This is
Um,
the dying gasps of an empire.
yeah, an empire that refuses to die. There are several people in the chat right now who can tell you just how powerfully IBM refuses to die, and continues to do things that they were doing 30 years ago,
This is the
virtually unchanged.
Afghanistan of computers. It's
That's bleak.
the dying the land of empires where they go to die. It's I'm pretty sure that that's happened to pretty much every global empire that has existed so far, and it seems like cheap PCs are the equivalent for large manufacturers.
It it stands
It's
out.
bleak, but
hmm
it's true.
It
I
stands
stand
out
by
that
it.
the headline, pardon me, the headline machine that IBM is selling here is $12.99, and oh, Storm Crash, that is rough. The standout machine they have here is $12.99, and this is IBM, who that just seems like a very disappointing machine to to me for IBM for this time.
Oh my God,
Oh
that's too much
gosh,
data.
more
Holy crap.
comparisons.
I mean,
Oh, this is another
I
ad for
appreciate
CompuDyne.
their thoroughness in documenting the comparisons of all these graphics cards, but there is just no way that the human mind can comprehend all that data and use it in any meaningful way aside from like which one is the best.
Yeah, yeah, right. Like,
Like how many options can a person simultaneously evaluate at once? Three, four? Like, and they have like 25 graphics cards.
oh yeah, sorry, Emran. We went through like a whole like 4-page spread from that company earlier that was very similar, all 1950s themed. Um, so yeah, here's an ad for Corel Draw. I'm not going to dig into that. Corel Draw has never changed.
Yeah, it's
Um,
the same thing.
let's move on. Oh, the 3Com parallel tasking. Um, I remember this card, but let's see. Yeah, so this is a network interface card with pipelining, and I don't exactly know why. I would have to think about this for a while to know why that's a big deal. Um, Otherwise, it's just a network card. It sends packets. Let's move on. Where to reach the vendors? Again, as I've commented before, it's very wild. It's extremely wild to me that I guess in 1993, it's very possible that you would just get out a piece of paper and begin writing with your hand. Um,
Dearest ATI,
yeah,
I would like to
yeah.
procure one of your finest graphics cards.
Hello, Kingston. Kingston, help. I don't have graphics. Just enclose. I've provided postage. Uh, there's a blank check in there's a blank check in this envelope. Help. Um. Ooh, an ad for PK Zip. Ah, man. So,
Put your executables on a diet.
oof. Tony, Tony, I'm sure you've used actual WinZip.
Oh yeah.
Prior to WinZip, there was PK Zip.
Oh really? Okay.
Yes, and I'm trying to remember exactly how this worked. I think PK Unzip. I want to say the way it worked is that PK Unzip was essentially like a shareware product or a freeware product. Oh, hey, it's Dana. Hi, Dana. Thanks for showing up. It's good to see you. I'm afraid we're not doing anything with Macs right now, so I don't know why you're here. And we're not perverting the world that God created. But if you want to stick around, I'm not going to say no. Um,
I have been accused of that before, just so you know.
I'm, yeah, I mean, similarly, but I mean, she creates things that should not exist.
Oh,
Um,
well that's cool. I like that.
I'll send you a link later. Anyway, so I believe what I remember is that PK Unzip was the freeware version, which you could use to extract things, but you couldn't make zips with it. You had to actually buy it. I think that's what was going on.
Okay.
And so consequently, like everybody in 1994 um, was intimately familiar with, like everybody was like, oh yeah, PKZip, I know that, but mostly in the form of like self-extracting archives, like EXEs that
Mm,
extracted themselves.
okay.
Um, and then WinZip came out, and like I feel like I feel like I remember there was some sort of controversy where the guy who made PKZip got real mad at everyone, and was mad like there was a patent dispute or something like that. I feel like this
Okay.
happened. But anyway, this is all forgotten, and we all just use 7-zip now. Um,
Yes.
anyway, here's the ballpoint, which is very,
Oh.
very dorky. And I remember using one of these. This is a trackpad that hung off the side of your laptop. And it was a great big thing. It was as you can see, it's basically the back heel of a full size mouse.
Yes.
Um, and so you just put your thumb right on the ball. It's basically an upside down mouse. Um, and I used one of these twice in my life, and I hated both times. I think it worked okay, but it just feels like you're gonna snap it off. Um, anyway, whoa, okay. Hey Tony, what's your opinion of souped up Italian sports cars from 1992?
Uh, I think the market already shifted to acknowledge that Japanese cars were kind of the gold standard, but I like that they wind tunnel tested a computer for the photo.
Is
And it shows the aerodynamic flow over the brick-like shape of the CRT.
my understanding of Italian cars is that they have for many, many decades been known for maybe going fast, but mostly going nowhere.
Yes, that is
so,
still accurate.
so I think uh, also, did people soup up Italian sports cars? Because doesn't that
No,
imply modifications? I don't think he
no.
made any changes because then the dealer wouldn't fix it when it broke every week. Um,
Yeah, no. I'm just checking a number real quick because I'm curious about something. I'm pretty sure that the uh, the poster child.
sorry, sorry, just saw some ad copy. Need to share it.
Okay, go for it.
You get a 32-bit eISA expansion bus that transfers data up to 33 megabytes a second. It's kind of like a high-tech jalapeno.
Wow.
What on earth? That's so much. That's so much. Why would they say it like that? Um, oh, this is also good. Dell is just flexing here. It's a big reason why hundreds of thousands of customers already rely on us, and why we became a Fortune 500 company in just 7 short years. That doesn't. Okay, that seems like a longer amount of time than they're sort of making it out to sound. Um, anyway, 115% faster video, but otherwise it's just telling you, hey, Dell, we exist. Um,
I was just gonna say, Alfa Romeo is the car I always think of for like
yes.
an Italian car you might tune up. And since they came back to the U.S., they sold about half the number of cars in their entire model line last year as Chevrolet sold new $60,000 Corvettes. So they're doing
Ooh.
great, and people. I actually specifically remember the Quadrifoglio Giulia, which is their souped-up sports sedan. You know, the hottest sedan that they make, and I think it was Car and Driver did a long-term review of it. They had a loaner for more of the time that they had the test in the first year than they actually had the car because it broke so frequently. So
I
if you're wondering if anything has changed, the answer is no.
need to workshop this joke, but I'm just imagining like doing a review, like a Top Gear review of a very fast car, but they're just taking like a Honda around the course because that's the shop loaner. That's funny. That's
They
a good
actually
bit.
they actually did that in one of the follow-up reviews in the Car and Driver thing because they would check in like 6 months or whatever, and they'd be like, "Well, here's a picture of the Chrysler that the dealership gave us because they ran out of Alfa Romeo loaners because those all broke too."
Quattrofoglio does sound like a slur. I agree.
It's yeah, it's it's supposed to mean like I don't know, fast leaves or something. I'm not sure.
So let's
Anywho,
talk about the Standy situation. So there's some interesting things going on here. So okay, so the Tandy, for a little bit of context, real quick. Um, Tandy Radio Shack. Um, I'll get my ears a little wrong here. This is not meant to be a documentary, but IBM put out the IBM PC, and that did fairly well for them. Um, and then IBM wanted to break into like the lower cost slash home computer slash like game market, and so they produced the IBM PC Junior, which was like widely reviled. I don't know if it was a flop as such. People characterize it as such, but I don't know what the actual sales numbers looked like. It certainly did not take off the way the PC did. But they really screwed it up. They made some huge mistakes in the design of the PC Junior. So Radio Shack slash Tandy, of all people, somehow ate their lunch. It's very weird. Radio Shack made their own PC Junior, like a compatible machine, with a couple minor enhancements, but mostly it was just the PC Junior, but better.
really,
And yes, and it took off. The Tandy became a parallel standard to the PC. So throughout the
really,
throughout the 80s and like the first couple years of the 90s, if you got like a video game, and also some other software types of software, but you mostly saw it on video games, um, you would if you looked at the disc, it would say for IBM or 100% compatible or Tandy computers.
really.
So
Okay.
yeah, so the Tandy came. Yes, that was the deal. That's what it was. The PC Junior broke compatibility with the original IBM PC, but the Tandy
Mm,
managed to retain compatibility.
okay, gotcha.
Made a big difference.
I like the turn of phrase PC senior. That's a very clever way to put it.
So anyway, what's interesting about this is I don't know how Tandy was doing in the market by 1992. I feel like it wasn't all that. I feel like they were starting to fall out of relevance, or already had. But this is interesting because I wonder if they really actually did print names on the badge on the machine. That would be wild. They were probably poorly made. I'm also curious what 466 DX2 means. There's a
It
480.
says personalized with your name right on the front.
Really?
Your new Tandy PC is shipped
Oh,
directly to
yep,
your
there it
home or
is.
office within 2 working days. That's kind of cool. I wonder if they'll still do that. Can I
You
get one
know,
that says Tony on it?
I think this is an error. I think they messed up because there's a 486 DX2 CPU. But I think that they made a typo when they were designing this ad. That's huh. But let's look it up. Let's just verify. Oh, good lord. No, that actually is. Wait. Well, maybe these people typoed. Hang on. Somebody typoed. It's like the hand reaching out of the ocean. Somebody typoed.
It says IBM Personal System Value Point.
Oh no, this is the IBM one, but it came up first in my tabs, so I'm just looking at it first. Yes, I think it probably is the model number, but it's weird. It just seems weird to me that they would say it like that. I don't know if I'm gonna get what I want from this video. Let's go to this one. Wow, this is quite a shop experience. I'm not gonna get what I'm looking for here, and I need to just move on.
I see it popping up in enough places that I
Yeah,
think that
it
is
sure looks
actually
like
the
it's
model name.
real. Yeah, I guess so. That is a weird name. I get what it means, maybe, but that is a weird name. Whoa! Look at this photograph.
What am I looking at?
I don't know. Here, let's zoom out. Let's get our oh wow. Okay, we're gonna look at that printer thing in a minute. But anyway, the ViewRx. Wow, the Windows Business Applications Accelerator. It's a Kingston product. We know that people who run Windows spreadsheets and word processors don't like to wait for text scrolls, reformats, cuts, and pastes. Okay, so it's a graphics card.
Yeah.
It does 1024 by 768. I swear, I had no idea that that was a common resolution at this point. I knew it was possible. I didn't know it was common. That's bizarre. At $149, $149 for 1024 by 768? Really? Man, I've been wrong about this for so long. I absolutely believed that that was a resolution that you wouldn't get until the mid to late 90s. More like late 90s.
Is it possible that nobody had monitors for that, and so
because there's ads for the monitors that support it in this same magazine.
that's true.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, Ben Jemmett says 9346 did 1024 by 768 by 16 out of the box. Wow.
Huh. Okay.
That's remarkable.
I had no idea.
Dana, don't worry. There's plinths. In fact, I'm sorry, page 230. I swear there's a plinth in the beginning of this book. Front cover. Let's see. Do they have... I swear there was a Dell ad at the beginning that had a plinth. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe it was a different PC magazine. They all blur together. Nope. No plinths.
Scrolling through this really quickly. There are so many ads.
Oh, there's so many ads. I mean, yeah, magazines, baby. It's kind of astonishing how many. Wait, did I? I don't remember us coming across this. I think we missed this.
I don't either.
Oh, I guess. Well, it's Quattro Pro, which is, I guess, just another spreadsheet. I never really looked into Quattro. But
that might have been why we skipped it.
That might have been why we skipped it. But wait. I don't recognize these pages.
We gotta watch ourselves now.
Whoa.
Is it possible that we skipped in between the two episodes? Oh, I don't remember that actually.
I don't. What the hell? I don't recognize any of this.
Is this the same issue?
It's gotta be. Yeah, because I recognize the first page. Microsoft Goes Hollywood video for Windows.
Yeah.
I remember this page.
I remember this as well.
For Visual Basic.
Yes.
Pascal. But not... I do remember this ad from the right.
Yes.
LAN information on CD-ROM. I remember that. Zeos. This is an ad. LC projection panel. NEC. Paradox. Amara Light. And then this.
Yeah,
This is new.
this is page 58, huh?
What? What on earth? I don't remember this at all.
Maybe we missed some stuff.
You know what happened? I think what happened is that for episode 2, I had to close the VM completely, and I think that I lost track of where we were. So we're actually even
Okay.
further behind in the magazine than we thought. Incredible. And no plinths! God. Okay, well,
Well, let's go
we'll have
back
to
to where we
remember
were, and we can just make up ground. All right, so there's a
Anyway,
graphics card. We
I
gotta
will
look at the
point out,
printer.
by the way, real quick, that this has Windows BitBlit. There's the API I was talking about that just copies a rectangle of pixels. Anyway, let's look at the printer situation for a minute. It's smart to share printers. Now it's also simple. The Smart Print Printer Sharing Network. Plug the computer and printer modules into your parallel printer ports and snap in the wires. Whoa! Wait a minute. You plug this thing into the back of the printer, and then it has a bunch of like phone cords coming off of it to your different PCs.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
It's a little
High speed, even at distances up to 1,200 feet.
Did it say that?
It literally says that in the black box in the top left.
Whoa!
I'm just imagining like a printer cable running between you and your friend's house, and you're just like printing shit posts on your friend's computer at like 3 a.m.
This is the Smart Print. That's got to be a common name, but let's look this thing up. No, this isn't going well. This is already going very poorly. Whoa! Dresselhaus Smart Print laser sharing system for IBM PS2. That's so specific. Here's another one, new old stock. There's a Tiger Print bra. Here's one, Smart Print 25 pin. It doesn't have the matching component though. But let's see how many results. 4,200 results. Heavens. Let's filter that. Okay. I'm just hoping. I would love to find one of these.
There it is. There.
Oh, there's one. That might be the other half of it. Let's see what we got. Nope. These are both computer side. So
okay.
I think there's 2 jacks on there. So I suspect this was a daisy chain network. Like I suspect that what you would do is you set up your printer, you cable to the first one, and then you put another computer next to that, and you cable into that one, and so on and so forth. I think it was like a ring network.
That's what I'm imagining, but it's just the idea of setting that up for 1,200 feet is really funny to me.
It's very funny. I agree. You're not wrong. And then here is, this one's also got some phone adapters going on there. Huh. Well, that sure is absolutely a thing. That's also the PC side one. Whoa, we got a bundle here, folks. We got a bundle. What do we got here? Okay, all right. So, this is starting to look less interesting already, but
yeah.
I'm curious what the snap is up there. You have to get closer on that, see what that is. Wait, hassle-free printer sharing. Huh, okay. So that's a printer sharing thing. There's a printer switch below that. There's a Smart Print printer switch at the bottom. Man, there's a variety of things going on here.
Turn your camcorder into a digital camera.
Yeah, Turn your camcorder. Oh, okay, that's a video capture card that plugs into the parallel port. Yes! Delicious. Well, this isn't worth $200.
Just for the record, I've decided on the main use for that printer sharing device, which is that 1,200 feet is almost the length of a drag strip. So I'm imagining that you have a computer. You have a computer on each end, and then you send your print 1,200 feet so that they can go read their slip and see how fast they drove. And then let's go back around to the beginning.
That's pretty funny. All right, so get in shape with NetUtils 3 data recovery software. Oh, rough.
I have nothing here that I can say that is appropriate for the stream.
That's fair. And then we have ViewSonic. They still have the birds back then. Whatever. Again, 1024 by 768. Apparently that was quite common. Man, this is still throwing me for... So this is really throwing me for a loop. Because if Windows 3.1 came out in 1992, then... Wow, if Windows 3.1 came out in 1992, then any time that I'm doing anything with Windows 3.1, I should be running it in 1024 by 768. It seems like that was really feels like the
intended.
Intended.
Yeah.
That's what
As
it's
the
starting to feel like.
it's as the artist wanted you to view it.
Right. Yeah. So you're right, NJ Road fan. I know that those resolutions were available many years prior. What is bugging me is I I simply was not. I thought they were available, but extremely expensive. But no, these numbers are quite reasonable. For 1992, I think anybody who had, or 1993, anybody who had a PC and was doing anything serious with it, it seems like it would have been worth it. If you just spent $1,500 or $2,500 on the PC, it seems very worth it to spend an extra $500 to get yourself a 1024 by 768 monitor and graphics card, and you could get it for less than that. It was only $149 for the card we saw, the Kingston card we saw earlier. They could do that. So that's wow. So in the future, when I do Windows 3 stuff, I'm gonna do it at that resolution, not 640 by 480. Which is great because it's a lot more comfortable that way. All right, so okay, yeah. So the IBM PS2 Model 50 is one of my favorite beige whales. I really want one, but they come with either an 8086 or a 286, which is useless to me. But yes, a bunch of companies made 386 upgrades that would drop into them, and I'm I would really love to have one. It's sorry, it's not a beige whale. It's a white whale for me. It's the real thing. I would be
Oh,
willing to
okay.
I would be willing to spend about $350 to have a 386 upgraded PS2 Model 50.
Really?
Yep. It's a really here. Let me not Model 50. Ah, shoot, I meant Model 25. Never mind. That ad was wrong, or the ad wasn't wrong. I was wrong about the ad. This is the one I was thinking of. My brain got mixed up. But anyway, this is the Model 25.
Okay.
It is the one of the only all-in-ones that IBM ever made. There's the LGR video. Well, it's actually, I don't know if it says Simple Things Toys. That might be a repost, but I was pretty sure that this was an LGR video. At any rate, I think he did do that. Anyway, they're beautiful machines. I love how compact they are. I love all-in-one systems. The problem is just that they're very expensive and almost non-existent. Like the 386 upgrades are extremely rare, and so
Okay, gotcha.
there's actually one on eBay right now which is going to hit $500 or $600. I'm pretty sure it
Mm,
has a
okay.
Pentium upgrade, which is like 4 generations of upgrade. Computers were wild back then. Anyway, so yeah, I totally misread this. It said 50. My brain was like, my brain mixed it up with the 25. Um, Staying productive away from the office. Staying away from the office. Um, all right. Ad for desk jets, whatever. This is interesting. So this is an IBM 3270 terminal emulator from IBM. Um, yeah. So I think, yeah. So the IBM 3270 was a terminal that was used for talking to IBM's big iron machines, their big
See, that is
dinosaurs.
now that is a very nice aesthetic to me personally. That's
That's
my only
fair.
thoughts on it. It just looks gorgeous.
Yeah, that's fair. It does look
The
gorgeous.
little overhang where the keyboard slots in,
hmm hmm
that's delicious.
Yeah, it's real good, right?
Oh yeah, that is a Fallout ass looking
It really
computer.
is. Yeah,
I love it.
yeah. Sam, let me show you this. So this thing is listed. The person who listed it, it's their dad's machine, so I think they don't quite know what they have. Um, it says a PS2 Model 25 with Genesis PC upgraded Intel 286, but this thing was originally a 286. You could see from the badge there. It's hard to make out, but it says Model 25 286. If you look at this badge, it says Pentium class performance for your IBM computer, and then it says Genesis PC 133 megahertz upgrade installed. So this is a massive upgrade, and I think that board in the middle there with the ISA slots, I think that might be the upgrade. I'm not super sure. I haven't stared too close at this thing, but this thing is sitting at 127.50 with 12 bids and a day left. That means people are going to go nuts on this thing. This thing is, in the last 20 seconds of this auction, it is going to hit $500. It's going to be ridiculous, and it doesn't work. Powers on, won't boot, will not boot up now. Hard drive spins up, fans come on, but nothing else. Power switched a bit finicky too. So yeah, this thing's broken and it's still going to go for a half a paycheck. So anyway, so 3270 was an interesting type of terminal format. I can't remember all the details about it, but it worked differently than the text mode terminals we're familiar with now. But
Okay.
IBM was and continues to be supporting an extremely ancient legacy of mainframe software.
Yes.
I think going back to the early 80s, maybe late 70s, maybe even further. I don't know. I want to say, and maybe CompGeek or Corey can remind me here if this is true, that I think there was like the IBM 3, I think it was like the IBM system like 360 that they went on to be got superseded by like the AS400 and then the I series machines, and people like carried software through all of those,
Oh
um,
wow. Okay.
going back many decades. And so, yeah, like
So
if you
them
were
saying, "Oh, here's a legacy version of, the terminal that you need to make your business work for Windows 3
Mhm.
is more of a big deal than it would be today."
Yeah, so this is like in 1983 you bought a 3270 terminal and put it at the teller station at your bank, and then in 1989 you replaced it with like an 8088 machine running DOS, and then in 1993 you replaced it with a 386 machine running Windows, and you still
Okay.
are. But the thing is, that doesn't do anything. That's just the thing up front that the person uses. The actual computer is in the back room.
And it's
um,
been the same since 1983.
it either has never changed or it continues to get replaced over and over and over, with machines that do the exact
Don't
same
talk to
thing.
me or any of my many sons again.
That's true, actually. Don't talk to me or my son. Don't talk to me or my son or my son's son or my son's son's sons or my dad or my granddad ever again. But yeah, so to me, the IBM AS400 is this thing. They came in a whole bunch of varieties, but this thing, if you're having trouble with the sense of scale, this guy comes up to about. Oh, you can't see it on the webcam, but anyway. Oh yeah, you can. Comes up to about here. It's like the size of a small refrigerator.
Oh wow.
It
Okay.
is a big boy. Um, so yeah, uh, the AS400 like legacy support. I can't remember if the 3270 was for talking to an AS400, but I think it was. But at any rate, yeah, there was quite a market for continuing to use this old software on newer computers, and um, IBM was actually competing with other people emulating their own terminals. So that's gotta love that. Um, all right. Oh, we gotta. Yeah, I guess that makes sense for this time.
I mean, one of
Um,
them is obsolete now.
Heyo. It's the modem.
Well, I don't think they use B2s
No, that was a bit.
anymore.
That was a bit. I
Oh,
was doing a bit.
I must need more
Okay,
coffee. I missed the bit.
there's something about the text about just the copy here where they're putting in perfectly reasonable breaks, but for some reason, I'm just looking at this line here. It says nomical because U.S. Robotics doesn't. It's killing me. Something about I don't know something about this text. Maybe it's the line spacing or something. My brain is just having a hard time stitching together the lines. So they're all very
It
funny to me.
looks like somebody wrote the copy and then was like, "Oh shoot, we need to fill an entire page," and then they did the high school student trying to say, "Oh, it's a 5-page paper with the with the extra line spacing."
Also, can we talk about how this is a modem that apparently you would open up and physically replace the DSP in to upgrade the speed? I didn't know that was a thing. Um, I knew that there were a lot of there were a lot there were a lot of upgradable modems where you would upgrade the DSP software, basically the firmware, but not wait 56K. The Windows 56K standards in 1993. The earliest 56K standards were 1995.
Where are you? What are you referring to? I'm sorry,
It's
I
just
lost
sorry.
you.
NJ Roadfan was saying about
Oh,
the
okay,
Courier. Yeah, the first
okay.
56K standards were X2 and K56 Flex, which both came out in 95 or 96.
But it does say that it can achieve throughput of up to
Right.
115K.
Yeah, so they're talking about compression, and yes, they could do that. I've actually gotten speeds like that at well, I've gotten speeds like that moving moderately compressible data through my 33.6 modem. So
Okay.
that's actually very reasonable that they would be able to do that. If you were transferring like pure text, that would work. You
Okay.
could do that. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, if you're saying that the Courier eventually could do 56K once they released a DSP upgrade for it, I can believe that. Um, all right. Anyway, it looks like we have a whole section here on money management software.
This could either be fun or boring as hell.
Yeah, I feel like this is probably gonna be boring as hell because it's just a great big shootout, right?
Yeah.
So now we get some ads. Oh, it's
Uh,
him.
him. Oh wow.
Why is he here?
I don't know why he's here, but I'm glad it's him.
Wow. Wow.
That is a powerful image. Why is he here?
Why is he here? Is what? There's no explanation. Is he a is he a mascot? Like what? PC connection. PC connection raccoon. Oh.
Oh wow.
Oh, there
It's
he
him.
is. Oh.
Wow.
Oh, it's him. Our founder. Oh my God.
Wow, that's great. So the
Wow,
founder of
we
PC
found ourselves
Connection,
some 90s furries here.
yeah,
Here they are.
retro furries.
Holy
That's honestly
crap.
really cute art too. I guess
It is. Yeah, I agree. It's hard to draw a raccoon and not have the raccoon be cute. That's difficult.
That's true.
Oh
But,
my
I mean,
God. They're working. They have jobs. They
and they
too.
have PCs.
That's true. They too have been crushed by the nightmare of modern capitalism. Hey, is that guy? Wait, hang on. That guy's buffing a pumpkin.
Yes, he is.
Oh, they're buffing all the fruit. I get it. They're buffing everything. They're polishing
because
them.
it's PC. Oh my God.
I'm gonna
So they're
need
shipping out
it.
apples and Lotus 123.
Okay, the Apple makes sense, perhaps, but they're doing PC software. So, what is this? Is this allegory? Oh my God! How about these apples?
Oh no, I love it. This is the exact amount of 90s kitsch I was hoping to find.
This
And
is
the
yeah.
fact that it's super cute, like hand-drawn raccoon Sona
Oh,
for the
hey, Dana's right. A plinth. A plinth. We finally got our plinth. It took a while to get around to it, but we have it. We have it. I gotta post the raccoon polishing a pumpkin. There we go. My God, this is one of the most powerful objects that I've found.
yeah, that is actually pretty powerful. I'm very this is my favorite part of the magazine so far.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't care what they say. There's a bunch of drives and stuff there. I just like the raccoon.
Here's one of these TIAC dual 3.5 and 5 1/4 floppy drives, and man, I've got one that looks just like this. I'm starting to think that this is the only model that was ever made because every single one I've ever seen looked just like this. Also, I can't get mine to work right. It's really finicky. Huh.
Oh, take us to your leader.
Oh,
That's-
yeah, rough.
They tried.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway. Whoa! Got some scan errors here. I think I think we're good with the laptop ads, the PC ads in general, really.
I mean, yeah, especially these that are just like company.
Here it
The
is.
people's choice.
Yeah, we have the
They
same
weren't
thing as
even
everything
trying.
else.
They didn't even use. They're not even
Exactly
using
right.
fun fonts. There's no cool images.
That's the
It's
thing is
literally
I think
just
they're just trying to compete on the numbers alone. You know, hey,
That's
that's the
possible.
lowest number I've seen, so I think this company probably sold some just
I
it's
like how they're-
PC brand.
Yes, I like how their monitor literally just looks like it has a sideways applied sticker over another company's brand.
I like
Do
how
you see that? It doesn't even look like it lines up right.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks terrible. I like how Dana got in here and immediately became extremely upset that they were doing such a bad job of photoshopping pictures onto screens, which is all she does all day long. And they weren't even trying to pervert the intent of God's will. They were just trying to sell a computer, and they still did a bad job. Anyway, I zoomed in here because I wanted to look at this. I wanted to look at this thing here, which what? This is a DOS checking program. What does it do? PCB. Okay, so checkbook management. This is a $30 application, just supposedly for managing your checkbook. But here we go. CheckFree is the front end to CheckFree Corp's electronic bill pay service. This was a thing even back then. Tony, have you ever actually looked at what the bill pay service that your bank does?
Yes.
I I I was it was super weird to me when I realized like all it does is it just sends a check for you.
Yes.
You could send one. It's
Yes.
so strange to me, especially because
There is.
they continue to push it, even though I don't know of a service that cannot be paid online, and so I
Yes.
don't get what this is all about.
You know how I learned this is because when I was getting up, so I currently rent a house from a one person landlord instead of a management company. And there is actually a service my bank offers where you can just have them mail him a check.
Hmm.
And I did that the first month. But like physically, it's not like, oh, it's checking behind the scenes or whatever. And, it was like, yeah, can you send this guy a check on this
Yeah.
day? And they were like, yeah, sure, we'll print one for you,
Well, and,
which
and
is nice.
honestly,
'Cause,
yeah,
like,
it's a cool idea because then you don't have to get a checkbook and continue to have checks. Have like 500 checks just sitting around.
yes,
Checks on demand is a cool idea.
yes.
But yeah. Anyway,
But I guess they've been
um,
doing that since the 90s. I mean, that software
whoa,
looks pretty ugly, but what are
what's
we looking at here?
what the okay, so CA, this is Computer Associates, right? Yeah, Computer Associates was a big name for a while, and they owned a lot of wild things. Oh, I haven't used checks in years either. Sorry, don't get it twisted. Um, like virtually everything runs off of plastic. It's just that like occasionally you'll have some weird situation where a check is needed. I don't know. What do you replace it with in the EU if somebody is like, how to put this? Do you actually have a solution in the EU for sending money to an arbitrary person? Does that work over there? Because over here we simply have no way to do it because wire transfers cost a fortune,
Hmm.
and basically don't work. No one will let you do it.
Yep.
But like every single business just accepts Visa payments. So, like, okay, okay,
Direct wow.
wow,
It's like
okay,
it is. It's like looking into the future.
of
Like,
of 1990.
no, I'm talking about the banking thing
Yes, I know.
where it's like,
It's like wow, this is an incredible thing we could have had in like 73 or
yeah,
85 or 90 or 92 or 98 or ever. There's
we could
literally
have
no
it
reason for it
now.
not to be here except malfeasance. The only reason it's
Yes.
not here is because of malfeasance.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it's very bad. Um, all right, let's stop talking about how bad America is. I hate this place. It is hell on earth. Anyway, so this is interesting. CA Textor is a very awkward name. I don't like that name. Um, but I'm looking at it doesn't have a full picture of the GUI, right? Is there one on the next page? Whoa!
Oh, that's
Oh, this is
cool.
this is Lotus Smart Suite. Okay, but they're doing a bit about toolbars. Look at all those toolbars, tools. Um, but
Oh,
oh
come on. That one's
god,
called Check It Out. Are you kidding me? You know
uh,
what? Get out of here.
the
That
best
software
wait
deserved to
the
go
best
under.
the best part is it sucks. It says for a program that claims it will help you manage your money like a financial whiz, Hooper International's Check It Out requires too much whiz up front for any user not familiar with basic bookkeeping. Rough. Um,
They just
all right.
dunked on that.
Anyway, but yeah, so let me look this up. CA Tech Store, is that on WinWorld? No. Unless let's get a freaking Computer Associates software names. Wow. Whoa. Is it unpreserved? That would suck and blow. Yeah? There's something on IA here. Okay, so this is I think this is an ad for CA Tech Store. Whoa. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, baby.
What?
This is contemporary. Um Spacebar, pause, enter, continue, move forward. Okay? There might be sound, but I don't think I have sound enabled in this VM. Oh,
What is this?
there's like some distant audio here. So this is a non-interactive demo for a piece of software. This was a thing
Oh,
back at the
that's
time.
oh God,
Yeah,
that's cool.
baby.
Actually,
This is this. There's a very good possibility that this is a Macromedia program that we're looking at here. Man.
What?
Ah. This is.
Why? Oh wow, it's even got lightning.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty
Okay,
good.
this is really cool. So how would they have made this?
There was software for making presentations like this. Um, how do I indent paragraphs?
He is so intensely
Oh
worried
my
about this.
God! Look at this
This
guy.
is probably the greatest presentation I have ever seen in my life.
The simple solution to great documents. Oh yeah, there it is.
Wow.
Oh man,
Wow.
how do I
Oops.
create? How do I create column then? There it is. There's the program.
I mean, it,
Cuts through the baffling complexity. I don't know. Looks like normal.
yeah, it doesn't really, I mean,
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. To be clear, at this time, people were still using WordPerfect for DOS, which was a cipher. Um,
okay.
WordPerfect for DOS was extreme. It was like Emacs, but for
For
non-Linux
word
people.
processing.
Yeah, yeah, it was rough. So it,
Okay, it had floating menus.
I think they were probably comparing to something like that. I'm trying to skip ahead here, and I think it's sort of working, but not really. Well, anyway, I wish I could get a better. I wish I could actually get the software. That'd be dope. But as it is, I'm glad we at least got this.
This is
Also,
pretty
yeah,
great.
I do really wonder what the authoring experience for this was like. I would love to see the software that this was made with.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was curious about is like how would you make this in 92? Because it's clearly not like it's clearly not like a drawn thing that they just like animated or
Right.
whatever. It's
Yeah,
it's
these
got to
these
be
are
some sort of computer
yeah.
graphics in some way, and it's
Also, Corey raises a good point. This is apparently the guy's 2323rd case. But I'm also liking the idea of like a hard-boiled PI who numbers each of his cases. That was case 43, right? Um,
I also like the idea that he has been unable to format his documents for 2,322 of his cases.
yeah. Up until now, he's just been using like a ruler and laying everything out by hand. Anyway, so I would love to preserve this software, but I suspect. Oh, dang it! Now I have to buy it, don't I? So this is. Let's see. There's two copies here. We've got version 6, new in box, sealed. Okay, and then what is this version? Okay, yeah. There's the floating toolbar we saw in
Yep,
the ad. This looks like the right one. Is there a version number here?
it might be
Dang.
on the front. It might be on the front
Yeah, maybe.
because it looks like it's a combo pack.
Yeah, so it's what Textor and oh, Grammatic 5. Okay, yeah, that was an optional pack in. Um, Man, I guess if I was gonna get one of them, I'd probably get this one. But I really prefer this box. This box looks great, and I really don't want the grammar checker. So I don't know. This is cheaper. So if I was gonna buy one, I'd probably buy this one. All right. Anyway, uh,
Hey, you know what? If you only bought that after today's stream, you'd be doing pretty well.
I'll be doing pretty
Because last
well.
time you
Yeah.
spent like $80 on the stream, and this time you spent like 10. So
Oh, you know what? I tried to spend $80, but actually, for anybody who's unaware, I got outbid on both of the tablets that I tried to buy last
oh
time.
no way.
Yep, huge
That is
bummer.
a bummer.
All right. Anyway, so let's move on from that and check it out. Can go to hell. These money management programs are getting unfortunate. Microsoft Money was
They
pretty good. Um, oh, a quantum hard card! Hooray! Yeah. So this was this is a hard drive that comes on an ISA card. So you just plug it into a slot on your motherboard. Um,
okay.
a lot of that has to do with hey Parker, welcome. A lot of that has to do with hard drives having, so with motherboards not having built-in controller cards
Ah, okay.
for hard drives at this point. So just building it all together made sense. And this
Gotcha.
was
Okay.
240 meg hard drive was the largest one they had. No prices. Yeah, these were pretty popular. All
I've
right.
never seen that before. That's interesting.
Yep. It's been dead for quite some time. It's sort of the M2 PCIe card of 1992.
Okay.
Um,
Gotcha.
wait,
This looks like another,
screeners
uh,
under Windows. What?
I don't get it. Should I get that?
I don't. I don't care either. It's another PC ad. Then we've got an ad for Superstore, which you already heard about earlier in the magazine. Microsoft Schedule It, which is just like the calendar feature from Outlook, I think.
I do
Um,
enjoy that advertisement though, with the this is how many meetings you have in a day.
yeah. Ugh. This problem has never not been a thing.
And
Um,
it's never been solved, because the point is not that it's like, oh shoot, I can't keep track of all my meetings because there's a million free tools now, and the problem is that you're in 25 meetings.
yeah. Hey, CompGeek, I don't know if you're still here, but hey, we got an ad for LAN analyzers. Low cost protocol analyzers, in fact. There's a software based one here, NetSite Analyst. But are there any pictures, or do I just have to? I don't want to read. Reading? I don't want to read. Nope. Bad. I do not wish to. Anyway, I don't know what network analyzers do. I think they're just Wireshark, but you couldn't just do that on a PC. Um, but either way, I've never really known what they did. I think that's what it sounds like. Okay, so like this one here, there's a hardware one. Wait a minute. NetSite Analyst, Intel Corp's 995 software package. Da 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 da. The many useful features NetSite offers at its low price include a time domain reflectometer and cable testing function. As a software package without
What?
huh. Tony, if you don't know,
Yes.
a time domain reflectometer is basically you get a you have a cable that you think has a break in it, you plug it into a tester, and it basically puts a pulse of energy onto the line and then waits for it to reflect, because it turns out that's a thing. And by
Okay.
measuring the time it takes for it to reflect, it can tell you where the break is.
But why? How would you do that with only software?
Don't know.
Okay.
It has to be uh, it has to require some kind of extra hardware. It just doesn't make sense. That's wild. Anyway, sorry, Corey, I didn't see which table you were talking about. There wasn't one here, I don't think. So, are you talking about the summary one here?
I'm not sure either. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry,
Somebody
I'm
just
just
walked in the room.
um sorry, we're gonna be I'm sorry. Blue Collar Mage, I'm sorry you arrived here just now because we're gonna be wrapping in about 15 minutes here. I'm sorry. Max. Are you talking about the one that oh, maybe it was one of the pages that I was on. You talking about you talking about this situation? Like the literal table?
There's another furry.
That's true. There is another furry here.
I don't like that design quite as much as the
Yeah, I'm
raccoon,
not a
but
big fan of
I still
that
give them
one.
credit for effort.
4 pages back. Okay, all right.
The
Yeah,
netware thing.
I am a big fan of like the hexagonal table. Um, the netware thing. Okay.
It might have actually been that we're on a slight.
Yeah, we're on a delay, so I'm afraid that
It's
I may
always
have.
hard to figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, I
afraid
don't want.
that I may have completely lost track of what you were talking about, Corey. My apologies. Um, it's gone. Um, all right. Oh, oh God, no. He just said this was it. But like, no. There's like a 45 second. There's like a
There
45
is. There
second
is.
delay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I think. Oh, we
I
was
think it
talking
is
about
the
this. This is
actual
the network
hexagonal
thing.
table.
Yes, we were talking about the hexagonal table. Oh my god. This whole thing has gone to hell.
Thanks, YouTube.
Yeah. I should put it in ultra high speed mode. There is an option for that for stream settings. I can set it to ultra low latency, and then we won't have this situation. The problem is it'll probably break stuff for some people who aren't on tip-top connections. Also, hey, this is fun. Watchdog Network Monitor. This is just like, here's how your network's going in a DOS program. Oh,
It's
man.
$2,000 also.
Ooh, delicious. Also, that was the low-end version. That's the light version. Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby. Yes.
What are we looking? What?
Give me
What?
give me those gauges, baby. Packets per second, utilization, and errors per second. Let's see. Got some MAC addresses in there. Is this? This is for NetWare. And yeah, you got to have promiscuous mode. Okay. Anyway, liking the gauges. That's good. Let's move on. God, we got to get out of this section.
I know this is just like an absolute enthusiasm sink because
yeah.
it's like, hey, here's the most boring things you could possibly get for your PC in 1992, and I get they were useful because, like, think about it. How many fun things do you do with a business PC now? Not that many.
Maybe.
Is that built into a briefcase?
Yeah, let's talk about this for a minute. So
now we're talking. Okay.
Wait a minute. That is a 21-inch screen. That's a 21-inch screen.
Plasma.
That it is hold on. Yeah, hang on. That's not a laptop keyboard. That's a full-size keyboard.
So they built an entire computer into the
suitcase.
Is it supposed to be? Is it just the display, or does it have a computer? Oh
no, it's a whole computer. Yeah, it's a
50 megahertz PC workstation.
Workstation. Yeah, that's a really serious machine. What there's, by the way, dual page is referring to like it can display 2 pages spanning the screen.
Oh, okay,
so
gotcha.
This is it's a 1280 by 1024 display. Good God Almighty! What
up
a
to
monster!
1 gigabyte hard drive. That had to have cost $1 trillion.
This is what I was looking for. Holy crap! The Screen Star from Bitwise Screen Star.
Now this
is what we were looking for. Oh my God! This thing does not exist.
They probably sold like 4 of them because it had to have cost as much as a Chevy Citation.
Exactly. Like, this had to have been 5 digits. That is a lot, and yeah, it's nope, does not exist. However, let's look at this copy of Stereophile, because wow, it's him.
It's from September 1992. Wow, there has been furry culture for a lot longer than I realized.
Oh man, Bitwise Screen Star. I think that was the name.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Okay, save this search. Definitely going to want that. Wow,
I feel like that PC should still be expensive today, just for having the just for having the cool form factor of being able to lug around a laptop.
Let's see real quick.
Inside of a built-in briefcase.
I've hopped magazines here, which I know is deeply wrong, but
this is deeply wrong. Yes.
The thing is, I've got to know if they have one of these things in here. I think it's just going to be an ad, and probably exactly the same ad.
This is definitely the rabbit hole worth going down, though.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Why bother streaming if you are not going to go down a rabbit hole for a computer with a 21-inch plasma screen built into a briefcase?
A neon. Yeah, plasma.
My God.
Like, yeah, I'm running out of words here. This is oh my God.
Even I'm floored, and I'm not that easily impressed.
There it is. Yep, it's the exact same ad.
Mm.
There's no proof it ever existed.
I wonder if we can call them. They were in Schenectady.
Schenectady. Yeah, I feel like I won't be able to get connected to them.
God damn it. That is... I feel like that is the Radwood winner computer right there, by the way.
This thing's amazing.
You plop that thing on the hood of your car at Radwood, and you win.
It's running immediately. It's running Windows 3 at 1280 by 1024. Look at all these icons. They've got so many.
It's got an entire map of the United States up because you're gonna launch nukes with that thing.
Right? Yeah. Pronouncing icon like pecan. Anyway, so real quick, before we move on and finish up here, Norton Desktop was a thing. I'm trying to remember. I think what it was. I should do a video on Norton Desktop. Make a note about this. Norton Desktop was like. So one thing you should actually. This is something worth mentioning that I'm sure will be outside of your knowledge base, Tony. Um, the desktop didn't exist in Windows 3.1. Windows didn't have a desktop until 1995.
I did not know that.
So the desktop metaphor was invented, I think, in the late 70s. I think Xerox was doing it with their stuff in the late 70s. I
Hmm.
want to say, but the Macintosh certainly had a desktop in the modern sense, where you have your icons on the desktop, and that's how you launch programs, whatnot. Windows
Yes.
3 did not have that.
Really?
Yes.
So this is a plugin basically to give you that
It's
on your Windows 3 machine.
it is a replacement shell. Basically, when you launch Windows 3, it launches a program, just an exe called Program Manager, and the only thing that's special about it is that Windows recognizes it as the shell. I don't know. Sorry, and shell just means that like when you close one, it's the first thing that opens when you start the operating system, and then when you close that program, Windows goes, okay, well we're shutting down now, like that. So much like Explorer in Windows 95 and on, which did exactly the same thing. You could actually, for Windows 95, I think they may have changed it at this point, but
Okay.
throughout like the Windows 9X era, you could just close Explorer and you'd just have a blank screen, and then Windows could be there, but there was no desktop and there was no taskbar,
Huh.
no icons. So this is just a replacement for Program Manager, so that instead of just having this one window on your screen that had all your stuff in it, the window was basically expanded to fill the entire screen. And then a thing about Windows 3 is that you couldn't have direct links to hard drives easily, for instance. You had to
Okay.
open up File Explorer. That's quite a smell. A plane just went over, and now it smells like exhaust fumes. I hope they're not going down. Oof. Anyway, but uh, anyway, in short, this transplants much of the mid '90s and on desktop that we're familiar with, as well as what we had on the Macintosh, and drops into Windows 3. And yeah, I think Norton Desktop was a big deal.
Okay.
This was back
Gotcha.
when Symantec made a lot of software back then to
And Norton was a
improve
name,
the computer. Yeah, exactly.
so I mean it's a name I know even. So
Most looking. So we're back to bovines again, and we have this is an ad for the Buffalo Complete Network. Oh, sorry, one moment. Oh, that's a bummer. A friend who's watching called Bitwise's number to see if it went anywhere, and unfortunately, it goes to somebody called DocStar, which does
oh,
document management, content management. Sorry, so that's a bummer. Anyway, but I'm liking this. This is the Buffalo Complete Network. It's a box that contains. Let's see. I see a cable stripper. I see some coaxial network cable there. We got some documentation. We have a card. I'm not quite sure what's going on. That's a
I think
book.
it's a book with a weird cover.
Yeah. Whoa. Complete Network features the Web 3.0 network operating system. What? Okay,
I
so
don't know.
something worth mentioning is what I'm a thing that I'm coming to understand is that for some reason the term operating system was being used in a very strange way back in 1993. Um, it does look like they just put a heatsink on the book because the book's so hot, baby, spicy, got that smoking information. Um, anyway, I'm getting this impression that in this era they were still using the term, or they were. I shouldn't say still. They had started using the term operating system to mean some very strange things. So this is a operating system, which I believe just is a program that runs on top of various other normal operating systems. It says supports
Okay.
DOS, Windows, and is Novell compatible. But I
Would we
noticed
call it like a
earlier.
sandbox or something today? Like,
No,
what's
I
the
think it's
best
more
way
like
to?
so. Okay, let me explain. Windows 3 doesn't know what a network is at all. It has
Really?
no networking functionality whatsoever.
Okay.
It has so this gets weird. Operating systems used to not have any network functionality, and the way that you added network functionality was by purchasing a network package. And what that would do is it would add the entire. Oh man, it's hard to explain this.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you go
No,
down a
no,
big
it's
rabbit
fine.
hole.
So networking in modern operating systems is cooked into the internals of the operating system. It is very deeply integrated.
Yes.
Um, so your operating system has, in its very heart, um, a thing that is referred to as an IP stack or a network stack, depending on what abstraction level you're talking about. And that is basically when a packet comes into a network interface on your computer, it doesn't go into it goes into the driver for the network card, but when it exits, it doesn't go to a program. Your programs don't talk to the network card. Your
Okay.
programs talk to the operating system, and the operating system has to talk to the network cards. And
Okay.
it does so through the stack. So your packet comes in, goes into the network card, goes into the network card driver, which processes it into a software packet, which then goes into the stack in the OS, which is a huge amount of logic. It is a tremendous amount of intelligence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, which can decide where that packet goes, whether it goes to the local machine, it does all sorts, or whether it gets routed to another machine. Every single computer in existence technically has the ability to become a complete network router if it just had the right software configuration, because they all have IP routing stacks. Um,
Okay.
so all of that, plus like all the logic to do checksums and to reassemble multi-part packets, like fragmented packets,
Mm-hmm.
and to ensure that like the consistency of TCP sessions and whatnot. All of this stuff is built directly into your operating system now. In
Okay.
1992, it was not. So you
So,
had to
so you would
buy
get
all of that.
an operating system,
Yeah.
which is a really big, complete software package that's going to
hmm
work at a very core level with your machine. I kind of get why they use that name now.
It makes sense
It's
because it is
it's
fundamentally adding. It's doubling the amount of functionality that your machine
yes,
is doing.
yes. I
So
also like how they have their regular box for phone numbers here, but they also have like 30 countries.
yeah, wow, yeah, actually, I didn't look at that. Anyway, so my impression is that there was Novell NetWare, which was its own distinct operating system, and it was a very strange one. Novell NetWare was something that you could. It's hard to get a screenshot of it because it was not. It was kind of headless. Um, but basically, NetWare was something that you would the server for NetWare is something you would install on a computer, and it was the operating system for the computer. You didn't have DOS, you didn't have Windows.
Hmm.
This was
Replaced it.
this was a distinct, down to the metal operating system. Your computer booted up directly into Novell NetWare, and as far as I know, it was completely unique software.
Hmm.
But I believe you could also get like a Novell support stack to run on your Windows NT server. And
Okay.
so that would be um, the same, the same functionality for the most part, but running as a subset, just as usually in
Hmm.
software inside of your normal OS. I
Hmm.
suspect that this Web 3.0 thing was much like that.
Okay, that makes sense. It also says in there that it's DOS, Windows, and Novell compatible.
It is, yeah, but I think they might be talking about the client software there rather than the server software,
It's
so I don't
possible,
really know.
yeah.
Yep.
But that's interesting. That is all things that I did not realize, especially the operating system distinction. That is something that would otherwise be lost to time, I feel like, because it's the same term for a much more specific genre
Yeah.
of software nowadays.
All right, well, it's time for us to wrap up. I need to go eat something. I haven't had anything to eat today. And
Same, honestly.
yep, yep, yep. I think this worked pretty well. Our viewer count was actually lower than I expected, so like
It
considerably. So I got to figure out. I don't know if it's just a bad day, or if Saturday's a bad day, or if this time of day wasn't so great. I might need to do a couple streams a week if I want to make sure that everybody, not necessarily with you, Tony. Well, I wasn't making any promises on your behalf, but I might need to actually do a couple streams a week, one morning, one evening, in order to hit the whole all the time zones, which isn't a big
yeah.
deal. I mean, I enjoy streaming. I have a good time with it. Everybody seems to enjoy me just sort of doing this sort of thing. But I think I do need to find other topics. This is fun, and we'll finish this magazine for sure. but I should find other things to stream.
Yeah,
Um,
I will say too, like like this magazine is fun, but I'm noticing a lot of repetition in like advertisements and stuff. Like there's fewer new things at this point. So like I don't know if there are other magazines that focus on a different part of the industry that would be cool. I wonder if you could find like old Nintendo Power scans or something.
oh, absolutely, yeah, all that
That would be cool, you know?
tons of periodicals are scanned. Yeah, Sam, absolutely. It wasn't literally just for you, but you were a big driver. You kept saying, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I wanted to make sure that people from the EU got to interact with me a little bit live. Caitlin, so interesting thing about that is that on average, I've gotten for this stream about, I would say, 70 viewers concurrently. On the last 3 or 4 streams that I've done, I've gotten consistently over 100 for almost the entire time. It's not a huge difference, but it was more than I expected. I thought I would actually have a lot more people viewing right now, um, but that is good information to know. With that said, there's a lot of like behind the scenes statistics information that doesn't get exposed. I can tell you that the numbers you see on YouTube from a consumer perspective rather than the producer perspective are completely different. Totally different numbers. Often they're very outdated, but sometimes they're just calculated completely differently, and I don't know how that works.
Mhm.
So, just keep in mind the numbers on YouTube cannot be trusted. The other thing is, wow, really? YouTube didn't send you? I keep getting told that YouTube notifications are not working consistently, so I'm getting irritated about this. I might have to figure out a way to do my own notification system. Um, as regards AV magazines, I haven't really seen any pro ones, and I don't know how I feel about the consumer ones. But like Popular Photography, certainly did a lot of video stuff in this era, so that could be interesting.
Mhm.
But I don't know for sure. I feel like the professional stuff would be interesting. Actually, yeah, Sam, interesting you should say that. I've never seen a magazine that would have a review of something like that. That's actual pro gear. So, I might be interested in that. Do you have the name of that magazine? And yeah, Dana, that's a good point. It would actually be very interesting to read through like what magazine would have had software for like the Acorn Archimedes. That would be cool. Um, yeah, Broadcast Engineering Magazine is up on Radio History. Bup, 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 bup. Let's see. Let's just look this up. Um, see, that's archive broadcast. I don't know if that's the one I'm looking for. No, this is very old. I'm looking for a newer one. Well, shoot. I'll have to work it out. Anyway, yeah. I got to figure out some other options for stuff I can do. But the other thing is, I'm gonna need some kind of co-host. I could do it by myself. I think it works way better with somebody else to act as a foil. I don't want Tony to just have to do all of them. Plus, I know Tony doesn't know shit about video cameras.
I absolutely do not.
Yeah.
I explicitly have had to watch your videos to have a baseline understanding of it, and yeah, I do know regular cameras decently.
Yeah.
Um, but the other thing too is like if you go to an old popular photography thing, it's gonna be there might be interesting tips and stuff, and they'll say like, "Ooh, new films," but really, old SLRs pre-digital are all pretty much the same thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
They
Mhm.
are
Yep.
they are. There's a mirror that will flip out of the way and it will expose the film,
Yep. It
and it
is.
counts.
It is a
It's a
light tight
very
box that holds film and a lens.
yes.
What is there to
The
say?
I have an F4 in my collection, which is cool because it's got like it actually had autofocus positioning, and it had a built-in focus motor. It had really nice light metering and stuff, but like it still doesn't have anything intelligent to the way it captures the image. I guess like early 2000s digital stuff might be interesting, but really it's just going to be the same technology we use today, but shittier. There's no like the design language is already figured out by then. There's not going to be there's a lot fewer weird Galapagos-esque products, I feel like, in the camera space versus like a computer one, because computers were a whole entirely new genre of device
Mhm.
that a lot of people are just seeing for the first time. Digital cameras, it's a camera that's got a CCD instead of film. They've been around for 80 years. So,
Yep.
thoughts on it. But You need to find a car magazine.
Okay.
Oh,
Somebody is asking to know what's going on with your epaulets.
oh, they're slid a little bit, I think. Or are they just asking if they're jingly? They have like little beating on them, but no, I think I'm just slouching too much. If I sit up correctly, then they look right.
I think
But
maybe
I'm
Brandon just didn't recognize that they were epaulets. They're epaulets.
oh yes, they are.
Yep.
Yes,
All
I
right. We got to bail here. Sorry for anybody who just joined. We've been on for about 3 hours, and we both need to go eat. So,
yes. Oh,
uh,
somebody asked real quick. These are Arctis Steel Series 5. Yeah, they're the same thing that Gravis has.
yeah. I'm using the wireless. Well, sorry. Let's be clear. These are the wireless version of the same thing, and I'm pretty happy with them, except for the battery life. These are Audio Technica whatevers. I don't remember. They are not the same at all. But yeah, big props to the SteelSeries Arctis 5 and 7. Pretty good. All right.
I'm a big fan of these. So anyway,
Yeah, I'm glad they worked out. That was a wreck for me, and I'm pleased about it. Okay. Thank you so much, Tony. Thank you, everyone who joined. This was fantastic. Had a great time. If you missed it, catch it on the VOD. It'll be on YouTube forever. And keep an eye out for a video from me on my channel in the next couple days. I'm working on one right now that'll hopefully have out by Monday. Have a good day, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.